prepare away to ya come match now why careful weekend dynamics kapuna bibia find it
nyame adom bibia bokopa emu ye nyame adom say na Saturday nti Saturday na say boja say the kind now you prepare for the super classic no
that's right
adaji ni puso
no na amuzu p helba mesha
okay
assign na de biem ya be 500 Ghana cedis and extra you be 200 extra no say nya o prediction correct I be nya 100 Ghana for nipa 2 but also and so can who say emra na de ya aduma no so T's and C's are applied terms and conditions are applied here I will say we use the hashtag or X no so Wontumi sports and on Facebook so ya make you post or Facebook or kwa obehu also no correct and answer me correct score line between House of Folk our Accra and a year Kotoko and he said predict the correct score and win 100 Ghana cedis cash for first 3 winners and here for Facebook and for first 2 winners and so I have for a X and so will be 100 I amuzu P Halbal Mesha and I say Yanchamamo where you're more than giving back to the society.
I know the no crap 500 you do to be part of it we go to me winning
very necessary
1-0 Najidi Shannon so where you say correct score in the over fans so Abetro has win there be no nya correct score
no drew him
be at 2-1 because last time you know say a man for be you win the winning the man no can the AC 2-1 and now can na 3-0 waka na afia
and to go Facebook before so be who live stream ya was we number see was we na super we see am hwe no posted my refresh me page na me share minute ago I post here so me refresh and me 49 minutes ago and ya post here on Facebook or say hashtag your Wontumi sports House of Folk against Asante Goroko predict the correct score and win 100 Ghana cedis cash first 3 winners and our Facebook am for the media about comment ni be one more and TM say time crowd out into one in terms of so
yes amuzu about clinical mutachi amuzu garlic bitter set na no pay Benjamin dental clinic obey sin wadjuma our Benjamin hadu do ani chiro maso e kivo 4-in-1 Gary soakings and mixi and no ana ye di awia ba just kivo ya and abepebi wi anso hot pepe wa pebi na fo di ayi aduane me dimafo aye Dr. Time da so ya aduane ya yare ben o de baba me dimafo Dr. Time da so beboa betway say ne beti na onso bet save and nyabotre na o bet na o bet ni bi say no na yesadu sika ema back no aye bet saver and one some no na power specialist about hospital yama me doctor akosu adua ya na ro pay was o ya bia no fabre na omo Alaska Star Enterprise ono at the world papers anaba or taichi and ro pay na so no yaron some adeba Karen Stake Ventures wo mo de nam yare azora miss channel ni G e drama so capsules no o be pay bia mana boa emulator ba supplement no e boa ma honam no ejane na so natural info at the Proslav capsules and after true man no e de abomo taichi kojak for no o mo de kojak two face and after kojak pro code e de taichi and ro pay Solak natural clinic ya prostate and after and Solak Mr and also boy chidom and ro pay I say zetache wo mo sie nya wo mu anope wo mo ye promo and your refrigerator promo and obody touch ko insurance ne ko pabi Lawson Beverages Limited a Lawson delay man bitters and afi Lawson and I can say delay man capsules and ina no wo mo ebo ya chidom tabia takum obedi kakra and afi tabia ba Mr wo mo ebo ya chidom Samens Vital ba Mr capsules no a guy ne memedro omo ebo ya chidom polytank for daruma obe store unso na water storage tanks no a polytank no and a papa and afi de need twato a kwa Mr and afi kwa plus Mr and a kwa MT heba Mr omo na tetre ene anupe ya show no ye de eba and anupe shoshe pa
e amamu na me no ye you want to
mama try to yes over
Whoa, Yamama Cramon no live on TV film, Monte so project for no Sano Masia Bibia. Ayana chess almost a woman tea and no, and so and only Yaba Cramon on a foreign news at Banamum. I say I was here share predictor Reno. Oh, there, but our Facebook post now, Sanamesau. I was say Sunday Oko post to the Ameki. I normal post now. We know, I predict the correct score and win 100 Ghana cedis cash. Yeah, the money pay me and Sana is 300 Ghana. Yeah, you bet your Facebook and 200 Ghana or X. Yeah, Tabuzu. Era sebin samra bi ay amuzu p halbamisha woman sponsor yes I predict and win way enti kapo Ghana for us so almost there
say obi a che na dwen e ha na mo madwen che no we Pedro Madina Cruz was a Kotoko no I was say has of no Kotoko 1 no aye do diaba Krokari Junior Tiero has of 2 Kotoko 1 and one also diaba Bright Amankwa GFE as a 3-1 in favor for Kotoko and what they aba Avel TD say Kotoko nil and Hazard no Bian Shebi whenever Mike said 2-1 win for Hazard and what they aba Baba Moro say has 2 Kotoko 2 and what they aba Proms Junior say Hazard ebe Kotoko 3-1 keep the fire burning what they aba Walla Gas was it has 3 Kotoko nil and what your Solomon Kusi Tete was it has 1 Kotoko nil and what your Sammy Junior say Kotoko 2 has no champion Ken was it fancy keep the fire burning watching live from Tantra Hill, Accra. Was say has no Kotoko nil and what Diaba Bino GSA 2-1 in favor for Koroko and what them Aba Anabaka Bell was say has 2 Kotoko 1 fantastic fancy more fire and what Diaba Ban Samuel say Babisa question Queensta Obin was it has 1 Koroko 2 and what Diaba Bright or Hine Japan was say 1-0 in favor of Hazard and what they Aba Young Francis 2-0 in favor of Hazard. Ignatius Bimpon Efa was a game no 2-2 and I feel Kwejo at that day I was a game no ebe 1-1 ne said you no
yeah na Kofi Ajiman Blackman say 2-0 Asante Koroko Afe Kwabena Jima say aye Koroko 2 House of Folk 1 where aye J Kwavu and also say aye 1-0 draw na Chesa House 1 Asante Koroko 1 and I could be far coaching so say House Shebi and Koroko so Shebi Afe we so say your son DJ Nitro and so say chorus corner 0-1 ebe favor Asante aye Koroko Kwame conference say aye Koroko 2 House of Folk 0 even Kwaku Eno what also say Asantoro Kobeshe House of Folk by goal to 0 way and so say House of Folk 2 Asante Koroko 1 more far and the farmers best and 100 million eguasie and the about kwasi bingo and this message you know and so the banana pay live on Wontumi 101.3 from live on Wontumi TV. More messages from Kwaku Rich. I say good morning fancy watching the show live from Saravika Kotoko 1 has 0 team scored. I say I 1-1 and I feel Patrick Kwame Oti I say has has nail Kotoko 2 and marketplaces assistant helper and so say I 1-0 draw and I know and so maybe PMT I'm for the modia banamum Abomarian post now so Kwako predict na ya wonsere ya no so lebesi akọ betway yemfa aye course e man ye mompa ngusu se na wotwe awie ye nnuama so be fine sanse mo na be kwayi ebi boko wode abi join ku ya jijiska na akwa bibia ho enti couple say why ready there
yeah ready
no 150 oz
okay
me 120 oz
wow
me 11 and I'm was 6 oz in that order.
Okay.
Now live on your screen, shadow can projected the atoso and so at the amount T yen shall 7 free akasium.
Yeah.
Yen call 150 oz on this way.
Okay.
1C9
1C9
1D9
1D9 1B
1C9
1C9
1D9
1D9
1B 150 oz.
Okay.
120 1C9
1C9
1EC
1EC EB
1C9
1C9
1EC
EB EB
11 Os.
Okay.
1C9
1C9
1DA
1DA
ED 1C9
1C9
1DA
1DA
ED and 11 and a last but not the least 5 Os. 1C9
1C9
1DD
1DD
72 1C9 1DD 72. Okay. Yes, inti your friends na mo de kakra bi ato ache bet we see can say bet responsibly for the love of the game unti by any all or nothing.
Yes.
Any brother pay here ska dey any o mapi
no crepa
let me say me busa helicopter boy but nyamo almost oh yeah
no I kese
na ukasa
and no helicopter na ehu hia
akwada o nyina obeto car no
broom
almost car koba car tire re obusa no body me busa helicopter boy na wo sere a me ba tuma me fo
no
abar ma ko park ya madi
no baby abe park ni asem
ya madi school park ko
okay to the obeto bad baby abesi no
e tuma ma chairman kwa yi soro ni ai pa
no possible
and dream big this is our class no teacher any about what do you want to be in future say accountant say lawyer say pilot and I want to say I'm foul I am by now I'm not going to be a coward I'm Ghana you know and I'm
fanny the one be car
but also say your way nyame so I dear about what they be catch also bomb pan say nyame ma sabi onsre
na wadi no dear
because here kwa ye ben nyina no sika efe but so nya ba bia otibeto wotibeto de obehye ni de obedi a wo mansem na enko more pressure bia because omo mo ska pa more pressure
obi wa won
omo mo ska pa no mo dis kind of combat ya ba business and pacho
obetimedi
wa wonten bibia bi wo watofo no obusuafo nyina wo ma asema
enu ni nhira no
anyame ehira panti
ya ye ni nyina nko na nhira ni bi no obi wo dollars ba ni breakfast aduan medicine wonum nduro wi awamen
by now be come
enye easy
nyame nso mo yare
na grateful why
yes no
nyame de amane
couple me da se panti ya kwamno ne this your Wontumi Sports Weekend edition live on Wontumi TV live on and a satellite you so and I feel make was Facebook Wontumi TV Bawa Darama Bomori and so like him page over share and probably be another messages a grass here and so a day abana YouTube Wontumi TV live yana Dr. Muzwasi Amuzu P Herbal Mesha and I far predict and win a hoka T yabecha 500 nyame ya mochina o predict na bomu kwa dia na isa watu warinti ya come on ya ba ya come Shadrack let's go
Angwa Juma no you
but
wow can I be tomorrow
serious couple
yeah so unza ehia pa
nyoma kasapa
oh yes music of course enyum die eni so no connect ye pa because ade bia ye koso no nya tie nyumpe nyumtimi kasa chewa be mu se ade na wo fam ni nyina na otimi se nya relief ni ade a nti na tete no na David Money ade no mu sheda wo nkofo wo twetwense nkoma wo mu no solo momo edu ba bia obe hu se stress ni ade but ezanza wo bonyum ni ade na na afi o release ni ama bebre free ho ti music die se soro nyame chekere kwa nyum until Lucifer je jana beto nyum na di bunti
Shadrack ntia bana na say be on best strike dia na wo but enya dia
na radio no
at quick and open fans we stubborn
sponsor there no any fancy
chairman
fancy we do strong
yeah that's so yeah be nya time we share because now what's your na chi kakra
abada bia me hwemo adwuma ne koso sa me hwe sports I Ghana there I can confidently confirm say Wontumi Sports no and then number 1 just say star BRB and I would bo
that's right
na Tapuku baby will be on Samra. So Otomua.
Maybe a bishop will be a
bishop will be our Samra
Juma Samra. Now someone two car. Okay, to Shaman is a bishop. Our Tomua.
Many ekis Wakasa.
Oh, nice.
Many ekis Wakasa. Okay. That's a Jumano Wontumi sports. A big sway kase. Na be kase ya. Na house will be a tea. A bruchere. We walk on near day in a while no beer no etiamo. Moya kase, moya tough. I don't know. Maybe sorry no pa. Now Wontumi. I mean, tea Wontumi sports. Bibiano ha me. What I say? I have one. Just a point on Kwa, Tino, and I'm about your lunch and so you ever have.
Oh, Chairman, that's all.
I tell you what class at some cook do.
Chairman said to know I tell you, what Chairman and I let them the Massa, where Yagani. When only take it your own buffalo. Only take it your own buffalo. Chairman, that's so because them say time on common started say question on your my Yinka chairman or chairman wallahi
oh mama
I'm not na talk with you more and more the other
for prerudo more for prerudo
or the master triple I talk with be suko hey chairman I mean you be about so there and be come say there and some there more kotokomo there ni adin na nyoma ekoso Ghana league akwa na am person of discussion na chairman league mumwaye
I kotoko there minim say mamini kancha santamai na mencha santamai ra yura ye hene otumfo se tuwa baby asantokotoko hene a o ya santamai ra ne nkwaso odwa so na kotoko so ye ne dia na sesia no enam MPP ntino aya ne dru baby na mame som no yasumu kwan bebre so ane ede ye ba minim say mre bi beba kotoko chema de medibi hey yeah minim say mre bi beba medibi
wow
yes na semi dinsu so a me de gaga yesem hey sikade patapa me de befam amatimu no aba back said na bra na Herbert Mensa was so ye you know Herbert was so ye you know sabre ni iswa asafo yehu bi enti meka ni nyina de abom de hyehye aka ho a what you say baby akotoko kodro no obia no behu no but said ye Yesu ka kire Mary say memre nso ye no enu bi na ne me meka kire say memre nso because adwuma bi e de be ma obia na wo say utime yere wo ho na utime ye na wo ye ni ye soso e san say ye pese ye boa MPP na 2028 yesaba power nintino enema bebre o ha menka na mom se me ba ye yidi a I will be the first a friend say club chairman to say moro no kra bia metimi de na ba no aba be coach aye kotoko yes made the international coach and am de no ba se me duro so antina meka se me de sheshe na gaga o dia say na midday players akesia enso so a omo bobo te say Real Madrid mo any Man U mo Man City mo any Arsenal mo any Chelsea mo no so no ye di bi so beba aba befra na
the ugly for top players $4 million
this is what we
3 million euros
sikana nya kokra na wo Ghana na wo the money nya ho na wo aya ha na wo aya Ghana ane ye wo what you say enti player bia obeba ye bia no oba ye a efia mama na tremu ni we da brochire kro ni bisa
oh eni no kre gwaja
ya say efia mama kasa mama o matremu kasa mama o matremu ye na brochire kro nya bi yes
chairman so the gaga ni ayesem ya be ye kotoko
ana patapa na sika so kan ayesem kan
na ma ye fe
anwa juma no you nyame wo hoda se uji dia obeya juma asachre ni ano you nyame wo
wonsa kan nyina no wonsa so ebe kan na no play live on the show ne mom ma me fan to one say wa bra ya recap aye chese eno stories and chese mo dwumadi ahodo a eno so na boss e wa bra no pe no en so aye chese matches ne nyina no ma me fan to one so ram en so na wa chese Friday night tom games a eno so aba so la liga ne eno abobo ku fan sa Real Vallecano omo so game ne ba so na wo kon Vallecano stadium eno no Vallecano for no omo she ba ku wa bra abobo ku a ye fan sa ye tafe onom entimi ente eno game no wo start aye 7 minutes ara kwatana ye fan sa for real join ono en so na she the only goal ma abobo ku a ye fan sa no en so aye Vallecano eno no wo so kitemu ama chese game and pass no nyina no wo so na 1-0 so kokowie make us Italy and the Montezos enra Italian Serie A game back and also abas aye bobo kwa for sa Torino wo so na tenefe enra wuram and so na bra ko sa Stadio Olimpico aye grande Torino na chese Torino team no and so na Venezia aba one draw wo start game away team na e fan sa Venezia na ball aye first goal no na chese Kike Perez ono and so na to atena and so na Venezia Sena wo ba second half ana Nicola Vlasic ono and some other restore parity and some other bobo kwa fan sa Torino yere update ana dia kan nyina no and some other ma wo kwa Bundesliga kanimo and some our Germany abobo kwa ye fan sa Heidenheim enra wo some atena fie and some our voice arena omo game no wo some our goalless draw abrabohum and so kwa we wo bi antimi an football and some Anthony on kwatena me no and some other games out enra no and some abaso na Germany nyina no se abobo kwa ye fan said Nisi and some our French league and one woman some Asha Bakwa Kobasa woman some Atenef our Alliance Rivera woman some Asha one outside dinner ye fan sa rhymes almost some antimiante na anyone is for game on Mame and fan to one himself contender ye fan Morgan Sanson ono and some other ball go and some other man this is our time no now about 15 minutes and some other sama to them and sana and come and say ono able first go no and some other man this year enra woman some makita mo matches I came no and some other 1-0 and no I update aba mame fan to them say enra and some other premiership no bobo kwa fan say Man City woman asha ba ko ama Wolves bobo ko no woman some antimiante and what game about so masa contender ye fan say Kevin De Bruyne no and some other chess player one some I assist I Jeremy Doku omumi no and some combine and City for no woman last match some about form no and some ya banisa na bibi also chess Man City bobo ko sa fei and can be start to Premier League no and can be ya bob say be 10 matches bia and can Man City for no maso be sa ha dwen am some almost start say woman almo form no back no ayo too late I'm a side you find a Man City and what Jeremy Doku masa kwadano and some no come here pa I'm a Kevin De Bruyne and the only goal some Man City team no na Jamina no same Liverpool there will be able so much league in data woman our 82 points American and some area to him say woman coach I fans and a slot to say I was almost to me rich I had the 90 points I go and I said Pokrano 90-point barrier woman can say 90 points you know woman some answer me like Arsenal and to me you know woman some our 67 Bobo Kua your fans Man City about to shop me and say woman our 64 and half Newcastle at us and 9 woman our 62 our bra Chelsea at Tosunum woman some our 60 and Nottingham Forest team no woman some not Tosuncia woman some our 60 points I know I just said you tell City I want something you know yet the MI for an anno pay and some our short some Ayabokua your father Man City at Janet Emra woman we are coming said Jameson coming in answer medical by your story and was sure I found supporters now woman some Ayat the more Emra answer not medically about to just woman say woman take it I won't say something you know woman some who you must see massa take it to the board then Emma Chasa Pep I say one of some other can be at your Masaita your father said no and some Chasa supporters are woman supported Man City Bobokono now report I mean second say no and some other to Ebony also trust him
Way a moment and one more about almost a stadium. I just said that also no be crack a scholar. Check a scholar, I know, and some not the phone. So Wabra Stadium getting a down Ramos was a Masada. I'm a just a fancy, you know, and some that 10 year cancer, a year Tasukoko, and some other such and Perfona, and Kaka Frimo, and some that Abanano per live on the show. Jamaican, you know, some real game and one. William says, Jeremy Toku. I just say, yeah, can't doku and some say, and one and I assessed Adama Brantana, your friend Kevin to Briano, say, Jamaican says, Jeremy Toku, and I bet the first player, and some our Premier League Ginuma were completely more than 100 drop balls. Not just Yaka, Sabi and cheer pass and cheer some Quabrania Chomo to me to say, I query a Dimia, not just Jeremy Tokuno, one and your player this season, and some our Premier League Ginuma. Wareche more than 100 drop balls or BNO. Not just a who crowd here. Diama Man City, Newman Quayan, San Marino, we are just an individual. I yet just some records, and Yadana just a Man City phono, Sankan Fire Kabea Hupa. A Biaman song I coming to Branga. Now, Kevin Diano and also Banana Silver Ball, the 400th game, and some other Sky Blues of Ayaman City. I'm coming to Branga Diano, Jamaican San. Eno ori game ana omukobusa na sabama ya tete bi asa okrawusunya we be stay our Premier League ni mo ana won say your place ni bi e ho no ma say we free club bi ma on person be stay our the same country no compete and yet tiam by the former team the branya there and or your open at my club bia we betimi afa no our Premier League ni mo entiama man for the Kabaka sign yes Chelsea per Manchester no crown yes perform bi so full say na say any drubabi ama kwaba Virgil van Dijk also bad timer na yes Van Dijk and person obesan ana nkomode omo sadie and also mbasi kwoni na no say Chelsea say womo so mbanya Van Dijk for free womo sign dia na wa comment ama Liverpool adenti ana be coming to Branya and some mbanya free womo so be fa coming to Branya mo ntede obi aka because edi come to just to Branya no e kwan dan hom e be at Chelsea and some apana san komani nyina no amanfo ahyase otu and some that good tot boil nom and some asumsa de Branya dia wa nyini na den mo kofa no and some amfana ma 33 years there wo ba dia no ba be yesi bi mu so say wo butire ba sa wo kofa Van Dijk ana anya ye dia and ye dintin ana wontimi kofa player ye fa no say de Branya e ma nya ye na omo bi sa de Branya and was abema na nya bia wo future no atesai and was one there Jobasu Kanina so onim unfortunate onim sebi obakwanifa anasam obakobenkono wo show ama wiase nyina unsustain na no wobetimi abobo tadi ama Man City na mom ayam perform na yo madwen say wo mom ama ono Kevin De Bruyne and twaso ama City bobokoni biem ento no de Jobasu Kanina so say for now ekwisi ebe wiase season de adwuma wonom abobe sebia last 4 weeks at the last 5 weeks na no one was what concentration and some so now my manager for Pep on a quarter for Kevin De Bruyne one musa coach no so pani the akweda yi and babaso chasa oni ho a mo ba kire mo pon na wo de wa bisa ho wo wutie ene wa wo hwepene ye bisa say South Tokona Kevin De Bruyne ebeja e dia to Man City bobo korim no hoi ana aye player ana aye kasai wo betimi afele sa void na hoi na babonum e bia beka Jama Musiala nom no aka from vector so be a proper number 10 do be a shift e ko right wing do be a left wing do be a when you are dictate to the pace of the game when you bet you Kevin De Bruyne juma no when say manager no edge to mu prakopasa De Bruyne there or you irreplaceable said De Bruyne no say e be a couple bet you na juma bra couple mo tablet na mo de ambulance abafana ko was boy no irreplaceable yintie Pep Guardiola.
Crystal Palace with 2-0 down and his goal lifted us and the momentum come back, so must be, I'm pretty sure it will be no easy for him, and you know his goal and contribution has been massive, important. There are players like Sergio, like him, like Kevin, like Bini, like are in the heart of the people, you know. It's not just the titles, numbers, it's the contributions in terms of affection and love and passion for all of us have been 1 decade here, you know. winning and help us to win absolutely everything, and still is here. No, it's Crystal Palace with 2-0 down, and his goal lift us. And
okay, yes, na just manager no kwajatum say empampi na no yana Man City for ho ya kamu a obon say Dubranya na just akwadai and some make a difference at your team no na say ye busa manager no say motor so me and some of Premier League table no so na Arsenal bobo ko na daso me no anya bia no aya 3 points and a separate Arsenal and bobo kwa fan say Man City na already musa obekate Arsenal na manager fan say papa say Arsenal anya the target one target dey say target and say one qualify for Champions League. Your coach Pep Guardiola.
You're 3 points behind Arsenal now. Are you looking up at second?
They have a game in hand.
They've got to play Liverpool still. Obviously they've got a distraction of the Champions League. Are you thinking of that you can catch them?
Who?
Arsenal.
This is not the target.
What is the target?
Qualification for the Champions League and FA Cup final. So
Janana, what you say, your daily excepts, Emma, your till for another pay, and some I was sure to your real and one game shot young call, and then matches I was at Barcelona Premier League, you know, a ball of Terry, Ghana timer, Aston Villa, one more book game, Eddie, full of Bobocono, now game Aston Villa, team at Turfy, and some our Villa Park Abono, make house a Rufino, and some Robert Jones, on the back of the gamer, and some other castle, Everton, Tino, one Ipswich, also an Abomatry. Very dicey, catchy. Who come very careful, and some Lewis Smith, and then for the appointment, and so Amano, and a Leicester will call relegation Southampton, and so call Omumia. Minimum said about your Bessiaquada. Womumia in our championship, Amsa, will be able to bracket right, Yako Michelle. Omukamano, who call a Yakan Power Stadium, as I say, Jamina Sam, David Webb, and some for the game, Emano, Arsenal, Bomu Gamino, and also I 4:30 and anyway about 4:30. One more area Bournemouth, Omugama against Bournemouth, no referendum. I Jarrett Gillette, and also another hand just game now, and also other castle Yamia Manchester Becquari Arsenal game. No, I was saying some oya careful. Manchester game away. I was saying some oya careful. I'm called Brentford. We run our near Kansas G-Tech Community Stadium, and I just Brentford, our body at Yamayu, referee Anthony Taylor, and some other big watch not game, and some other 1 o'clock Brighton, our fear, one about Newcastle, and so I am not Dalanten Tabia, because so one time, and so I will fear no woman, and Tottenham, Eberpo, referee Michael Oliver Becquari this game, and after Chelsea, and some amateur, I was a boss, our Brownum, and some Liverpool, and I have 3:30, and as I came, a boss, our president, referee, and some red fans, Simon Hooper, and so about Quack this game, and about some Liverpool team, because Obianum Liverpool, I champions. Jumedia across this season our Premier League gloom. Now Liverpool Dominion and another penny say Metisa one more title out also 20th one more general chess weekend Cambiano wouldn't say Minyasam Oko a Premier League Ginua. Yes, Liverpool 20th Premier League title no officially and about the most engaged Premier League win ever. I just ability Dasebia will be the Premier League maybe engagement any day and some bum archers almost say walk at German France one engaging more and a Premier League title now. Almost a general now report them one more year and Yamia Manessis move a difficult and a slot and you are doing it. Yes, coach and woman could have first Luis Diaz answer Merebetu Gasset Diaz no woman send China Emanenko and a BM and some other players on my car woman full some fast war and some hours are person also now Luis Diaz and command sa passa woman shall say didn't come out Jamesa can in another Quadano woman some others who stay now. Yes, woman can season officially not just a Diaz negotiation and also shall see report coming on Liverpool for no woman want himself can be as a boy way our some money extended the contract Emma Liverpool no home here and some Liverpool Bobo Kona eno enso ay update ba fei mama Manchester United report am say kan say Harry Maguire yes Maguire contract extension Maguire contract ay renewal ama say dia men say kan report no enso banyina so chesa akwada no ay de betimi afa enso adiama no ebetimi akwa so dia ma akwada no ye fa no say Harry Maguire ma enen no wo mu fu say wo so otimi stay enso Old Trafford no say dia men yan say Sir Jim Ratcliffe other from Man U was starting so my workers ni bia redundant na say redundancies ebi mu koi na ekofan komo pi bana ni trimo den and one uni pound ni na say wo cut cost Manchester for eka and em more na yesen another phase of redundancies ebeba na this time crowd ye nipa no ebeye more than 200 womo mu ye adwuma ama Manchester United ebimu sa ba bekofie am ye sem udru Chelsea ground so mo mu nu aduane wo kitchen ebi aketmen no ane Chelsea Manchester as a football club no wo bi oye employee e obi bia obi ebisasa anya bia na ayeme ana say ye wo because obi nim nipa oye the next just no ebeka sa nipa more than 200 ne ho one some betimi ay ya kan say wo kofie tinai am so say kat cost bi mebi mo and some other say redundant ama chese no ay update eba Arsenal wo mo so mo update team and so mo comment wo mo squad na mama Ademola Lookman enay Arsenal Ademola and some other time am list no already no Yeremsal Victor Gyokara sadie na chese owura fans Andra Beta wonom ay adwuma no den desa ne sabetimi aka ne so no sikano no board into Ademola ana Dominion na no parents Arsenal for no woman some any upgrade aje so munyana woman some other some de Lookman and so Bobo Kwefans at the Ghana Sene boy no so Premier League no ba wakam am obia so aya we say de tie and some other so no de when you ready so be stay our Atalanta bi oba continue no say utimi come and say ya adwuma nkwade ono and some other ba ye wa Arsenal ne tema me appointment man so Bukayo Saka na Bukayo Saka de no yesem ono so komo afa Champions League no masa what do we say Saka no wakoji tumu say ha PG for ni mbobo na o say omubusa na ba Nuno Mendes amokas ha asa akwano so dwane papa je ne won so ha ni nyina no Saka kan no krapa na Bukayo Saka say ono no ayade sa wasan hwe aye first leg ni biem ade kan say bia rewatch ama chess wasan kwakwo hwe aye game ni biem na wo huni ma pi a waso ye ana obusa say de na retell akwa be no say man men kan kire wo men kan kire no ma de wo pi na no na de obeso kan nyina no say wo bo Paris Saint-Germain fa show trim say ne anti say PSG na womudi keshia wonom ewo group phase ni mu a womu twifa womo so dabi omo sesa womo modom ba ewo soro manager no eye Luis Enrique eye Juma Pantinei Bukayo Saka and some ajatum yentino.
Making your clips when you watch them back, how did you think you played?
It was tough, man. It was tough to find spaces. They put a lot of bodies around me. They defended well, so yeah, I'm just looking at which spaces I can find in the second leg. Man.
Giving no clues away now for the second leg, just in case PSG are watching this at home.
I can't, yeah.
Obviously, you've played against them once before. Do you think they've improved a lot, first game to second game?
100%, man. 100%. It's like a different team. I know they only changed 2 players from the lineup they played against us previously, but you know how much cohesion they have, how they flow, how they move the ball. They were a lot better, so yeah, they impressed me a lot, to be fair.
Do you think they're the best team you've played so far this season?
I would say so, probably, yeah.
Yeah, what makes them so difficult to play against PSG? Because we've seen them come and get up against English opposition throughout the season and be able to beat them.
They have a good manager, they have top quality players, a lot of threat up at the top end of the pitch, and yeah, I think definitely in the midfield as well, they keep the ball really well, and yeah, they try and make you run, so I don't think anyone likes to run, if I'm honest.
Say you didn't accept Emma you chill for an anno pay and some was short of snow say and come on yana man for ya no mama receive ballon d'or come on maybe a tram about two gasa sankano as when your ballon d'or beche na ye come mo bet me aje ballon d'or no so kan ana ye bi say na ye bana man for Ousmane Dembele na bi abo Kylian Mbappe ebi mo abo Vinicius Junior na chese Jude nom and Lamine Yamal nom Rafinha nom na chese na ya categorize it sa place and say one year place be mo bracket enkona anya bia no wono say in that pecking order horrors even anyway one about the brutal was no we be a die so a dream and man say ballon d'or that bia no one so ebetimi agene mom drobe so kan nyina no say de hia no fana pa no say what the Arsenal ebeti bibie what the Arsenal ebe bibi eno ayensema buka Saka and to got for ballon d'or enkomo no ho.
Do you see yourself at that level? Like, where do you see yourself in the pecking order of sort of some of the world's best players right now?
I don't really like to put myself in these conversations, you know. Everyone has their own opinion and, you know, people put me up there, people put me down there. It's not really in my interest to argue with them. I just play my game and I leave you guys to have your opinions and
they will. People will.
Yeah,
is that a goal of yours? Like, people talk about the Ballon d'Or, don't they? Is that a goal of yours to go out there and say, I want to win the Ballon d'Or?
Of course, yeah, it's a dream, and I think it's a dream for a lot of players. But yeah, like I said, the only thing you can focus on now is winning here. That's my main focus, and you know, everything else will come after that. But yeah, the main focus is winning here.
Do you see yourself at that level? Like, where do you see yourself in the pecking order of sort of some of the world's best players right now?
Yes, and all I can free a branch of fans say Bukayo Saka so the pen and pay live for show us Rafi. Mama the manager fellow Mikel Arteta onim say Arteta on place and on proprano. This is the Ukrainian enemy Arsenal for so na just a boys no more na proprano be mo to say Gabriel Jesus or try and what he just a can have veteran and then Jorginho no and just a boys are coming in the morning no and so proper manager na bobo you know do you best place now encia and the comments and so na just a 6 best 7 wo your place wo proper say what did you say this is na dia ba ko do mo nya ye pa no availability say bia ye kwa queen against PSG ke bia be experience be say Jorginho our mentor over here. Yes, we're proud. Gabriel Jesus Apopia. Over here. Yes, we're proud. It's a dear advance availability. Question mark na. About what players be at no. And I just do munya part this season. Yinti coach na advance Mikel Arteta.
I think I was waiting for the players to finish the warm against PSG at home. And before the match, I was walking through the tunnel, and then I see 7 players lined up there. 7 players. And those players are Tomiyasu, phenomenal defender, someone he gives a lot in the back line. Next to him, it was Calafiori, a player that is a starter, that we just signed him. He's been out for 5.5 months. Gabriel Magalhaes, one of the main leaders in that dressing room, the best defender. Thomas Partey, our starter 6, out of the game. Kai Havertz, our starting number 9, 4 months out. Gabriel Jesus, when we brought him back to life and he was shining and doing, he's out now for 8, 9, 10 months, I don't know how long. Jorginho, another player with huge experience to play this kind of game. 7 players of that caliber out. We are where we are. And I said, this team is something special.
And I some manager friends Mikel Arteta and I say you didn't accept Emma just a place and availability you know and also I dare say and I had a fee yes shift yen game call Chelsea so ya Chelsea bought Yamian much Liverpool coach you know and I'm at the press conference Emma make a show say was same 4 games no place and on Montanya be more on that be abona just a rotation ebeye juma pana and your munjo kakra bi so France so boy no mu bisa Enzo Maresca say wo bought Liverpool Yamian ma Sunday na anya bia won say Liverpool league na wie no wo omo be sesa squad ni mo am ma say no so no de do ma no say omo kwakobo mo ball na omo prepare e dia call eye match ni mo the best way I just say Chelsea ebetim say na be ya ene ma so be koi ade ba ko no say omo record e wo home yana eye kama panti wo mo opise bia record e wo home eye no de wo mo so ebetim ya build on yentie Enzo Maresca.
I don't know, to be honest. We're gonna prepare the game in the best way we can, because we know how important it is for us, and also because we know that in the other side there is a team that they show how good they have been all season. The target is to be consistent away and at home, but probably, as you said, at home we have been better team this season, at least in terms of results, and hopefully the next one at home can be exactly the same. I don't know, to be honest. We're gonna prepare the game in the best.
I am some coach in a fan say Enzo Maresca and I say ya den accepts Emma Faye Mame Omo target and say Chelsea ever qualify top 5 far. And what matches are coming in our Chelsea ball Liverpool. One more Nottingham Nom and our Manchester born Chelsea games are and also occurring in a Newcastle for you know and so to be also qualify. Already tell so Omachi I'm for the pressure bar coach and say I was so much share on one castle more man Newcastle attention team na we do a channel so one matches and also when I feel we born ye Yenti Enzo Maresca
consistent away and the main thing is to watch ourselves, to be focused on ourselves. I think is the main point. So for sure there are more clubs involved, more teams involved, but for us it's important to be focused on us. In this moment, I think the main thing is to watch ourselves.
We must sweat our brown something in ano. Yet am I yet for young call a France Paris Saint-Germain shark. Mamma PG almost quite an answer. Oh yes, oh yes, I say answer ball a Bournemouth. And Paris Saint-Germain so ball of game no. Yeah, there's a gamer. And the boss was a boys and comes was a move for PG in Gango because France are PG for and on my quarry now when the crowd on my quarter said, what win was so by papa woman Strasbourg and a born there and Strasbourg was so phone to PG was quite anymore. Okay, Kwaraskilia Fabian Ruiz Gonzalo Ramos Duzere Due Vitinha Lee Lucas Hernandez Majulu Bradley Bacola Zaire Emery Afe Kamara and Bara Donovan so fan of Venom Wamoda Nessa Marquinhos also won him na report to Mensa can say coach no Wabaso and your man come out Jamina say one Marquinhos and his squad dynamo Ashraf Hakimi and his squad dynamo Nuno Mendes and so out Osman Dembele and his squad dynamo goalkeeper Giorgio Donnarumma na chasa Gianluigi Donnarumma and ka squad dynamo woman in no coach no Reste Sankwadano and wafa aye Axel Tapi wafa Noam Kamara and wafa Muke and afa Rahim Mbaye woman in no kwada wadoma ka squad no nti on say PSG omoko a chese bia Vitinha na beka so hwem ene bia sa boys na chese ode yi skills kakra bia na mo de omo a em so no day ba kokron start ya be ha dwen no wore san kwada na ate na chese asafo no enso na wasema ball pa no enso be trust Arsenal ebe rest players against Bournemouth our very womo so game Barcelona Paris Saint-Germain ya koma so ya neighbors near Paris FC Enra womo so qualify the last time womo ball French League Champagne aye 1989 1990 that's no 35 okay that be 25 anti ombo bi achepa na couple me so hama mi na am say about 35 35 1990 to 35 no masa wo mo aye French league ni bi am da na no mo qualify no mo ni o mo stadium ni on said obi e kan wa sabe o mo ne Paris Saint-Germain Parc de France at a ben and stadium e ba oni adna on qualify we are yes a ball gun the obedru no mom and also the so any asem no say report coming yan say yes o mo budget anya me yadma this summer wo mo de baba ye adwuma our transfer market anymore. Paris FC and between 70 and 100 million euros. Now, yes, I'm a was an as a mobile sample of free bad. I want to about 35 years no more league nibio. Namia, you are dumb. What about over so stay? What's say a budget? I am between 70 and they call a 100 million over to why. And you see, Tim, they say. womo be sign players no maku 8 no ayo mo ma bo aye league na anaso mo guso ba womo our experience in Tibia omo ko ba bi to say bia Monaco na bia kwan do bu pa no ma fa e bia so no kwa wo ye Marcel e kwan dan ho a no ma fa e dia ba sa no be so mo ye na 8 players no omo pomo a womo nya experience our French league champagne no musara be a e be bo mo so season no womo so e betimi stay as survive no and some aye kakra from aso ye e ba shoro agma aye come new masa abrofo no ye adwuma na me no kasa wo basa come you na on kasa ye no a na come you any as of anyone adjo update na so kreto ana on baby a sprinklers no normally yana de enim say sprinklers no yana sheshe bia chese pitch na say ba we do mo de sin chen enso to no nyina no na chese flag light ya so when light no mo hihye wie we ya do mo so ene ya adwuma na jo ana chese Spotify come you hono update and some no picture no kwa de carry atu enye wey ana basa babo so ball na mo amudu wey say sere be ababua ma clean na say anwia na omudi kan ku ase no eno so ebenya na ho den commenty sprinklers no aboduma ama chasa stero no de mu wi abaye fo a chasa nche bia basa tim no enso ba basa so bo Inter Milan eno to mu game mo kwa Real Valladolid no mama yaba studios no mo ko mo for flight mo dia muti o mo kwa na masa kwa to aba so ma boys over 2.5 no ma ko bo under wo ye no for flight ahana he ya no nka wo free ebia nkran e be se anko tamale akoko game and I said na lugua na aka jam say onko wa mo for the bus and ekoko dru kobo wo the flight wo de mo nko de mo pe ba to ye me no ka say o mo the flight and ekoko fire deliver na mama almost squad tonight we kwemu make sure say Testigan about La Liga matches na Chesney across about Champions League at Testigan our Barca squad no Jules Kounde will be on Sabapra oni ho afa Lewandowski Marcos Aldo Alejandro Balde women now so out omo makano women so kwadani bi te say Noah David manager ne di Asha squad no Hector Fort aka traveling a contingent no ho just women now go and Christensen num and akwa start mete sansu fatimu nyina no wo so ebenya bia bo onum say mete say against Valladolid mari carry atutwa say wo mum ebe changes no say say ade ba kra ne say omo tie start pa ebia mu baako anase bia mienu pe and be start Valladolid again all of them are still Kumasi win na Pedro dia mete so be start because coach no ehia win apart from no emsa yen shedan tenim penisem so omo tabo pa no ebia lami bi omo makari nyina no kra no enso abe food bench and ebia possibly womo so abam na sanka ya babo La Liga game yana traditionally omo makwama clubs no no on say omo directors and for management ni kwhia wo restaurant na chese mo didi anopano na ma come on sas na mo dia first time here can say unity be obo dia wo say kan ebom de nya say Ronaldo Nazario awo no aye president ama Valladolid no yes was one ma enti bansa for ne mo pa mo nko didi because ono kwa born kwa metis e bia na wa ma ana so baba kra na wonye ready say ne kan say institutional a meeting I was about to between bansa and Valladolid omo management no yes we have to answer nya yes no and so ne betimi show up onim say Lamine Yamal say ade ba ko say the more na wo kan Lamine Yamal asem na no na kwa say asem de dabia mo sorry ana Lamine Yamal bama dia kwada na yen untimi kasa on kan wa brana sam abakodai ya juma pa 17 now ya dai now we scale war fruit school ma kwa jezi kalafwe na ya man for box mu gari 17 we come out for to am trunk no yimilo area boxer shorts nyina 17 na o ma bes ma kwa so onko la mi ya man na ne dia no ho paso na ma me bukau saka wo mu bisa bukau saka say say we be a calamina some lamino age 17 only so was a man was say diakodane ya no enye normal Bukayo Saka na ka because when you 17 years apay Bukayo say de Lamine eya no enye normal ade also bien wa wo ye bie na ono kwa no on start so body na no ohu akwada o 17 years a just an level Lamine the akwada no yere de be ma kudos and command because what akwado no in America akwada no bobo papa wo de Bukayo Saka Lamine Jamal.
Honestly, he's doing what he's doing at his age, you know. What can you say, man? He's unreal.
How hard is it to do that at 17 on a stage like that as well?
It's not how hard. It's not normal. No one does it. I don't think I've seen that level of 17-year-olds. So credit to him. Yeah, it was a good game, like I said. Yeah, he's top, man. Honestly, he's doing what he's doing at his age, you know.
Sakadema 17-year-old Lamine Jamal. Onu so mu na omo ya na mfonti. Wono ebo akwadana baso amjet ni na edebana. Nyame ya next week and that's a Champions League ni wia. Ya ba Europa Conference for Telexeze. Some mess fa homa me na no plano pe ya banana supporters adama be bawo. Womo salai obia kopete kitiribi ato. Omo ni hey na some mess na stadium ano patututu no na ansa mekan enwa sa Inyanki Williams say omude supporters omani ya dempa asabi adwene bom makomako 4,000 and about Old Trafford no hwela ne tenten baby free and baby akwaka enwie yo wo de wa hwe video na utum salane tamu wo bi akọ aya chasabe bawo some mess wey aye ticket office ekopa return leg our Manchester ticket ni bi atom sa wo mu da so odiri se bi come back no wo mu be e Old Trafford na mebisa se wo ana oye coach Ancelotti and Wobama Kwana Fans Aurelien Chouameni abo game against Celta Vigo and asa Kwadano was from Oberesteno Nina sa boy no Madikari at once or yellow card na just automatically Nyamiya Duma women's game our dear Fans Classico Wontumi mobi to Achina game about our Real Madrid and so bossa game and yet Celta Vigo and Yadimi no one Kadoma Chouameni abo no yellow fashion teams players no more no so proper bouncer for no ebetimi anya kwa because so Madrid Rudy Ganiwo David Alaba ni wo Adam Militao ni wo chechiro de yemsa bema ho nyunu se ta etobama just Chouameni abo otena na wadi yellow aye suspended our classic kurmana se aboma boy no enso arrest na basa for the afa ho Jaminya nyina no se na ye kasa onum se Madrid omo coaching staff no Jema Rebecca Antonio Pintus story emra ema me kaso panini beso stemom womo sem omontwe omo so mo pamono mane kwana physical trainer for bano yes Real Madrid omo coaching staff no say let me say athletic and a kobu sample for say na edientina masa mu plus no womo program o ye kasa Rudiger pra David Alaba pra Ferland so pra yes coaching staff no say sa na tie abribia sa na tie always no omo games no without omo defenders last season Militao da bedru no ni ho Alaba no ni this season sa na chese ni nyina no bounce down to one na your fans Antonio Pintus no ana chese am omo jumadi omo did this season no ano anshada ankoye din Heisen adama Bournemouth ayekasa Madrid up no ana boy no sunya bobo kwava no Madrid no be bono akora ni Bournemouth defender no make say sikane de ebe den yes Real Madrid for say now who per Madrid abona almost say 58 million euros ayo release clause wo mun tuane ntuatena I don't know how you say benkumu ntia na say Madrid ntia aha sana jerete Madrid mo 58 momzo Madrid ntia a say 58 million euros no anya de some sabe kan bi na Jaminya no sa fei yesi Ancelotti and Brazil and come on no wonim say Menoka siyasiri agent akwa drew Real de Janeiro na Real de Janeiro just Ancelotti agent na kodru no aferi CBF president no your friend Ednaldo Rodriguez oruano yeso waje eye unia demands nyina to because Ancelotti catch on mame be story so say La Liga Madrid our chance wontimi mesane mamo ne munya betrama ni nie yesi aferi am se Brazil for no Matias here say run enyi na nsa ne bokobe ba wono so enso atima ba Liverpool fana fei meti say yes Romanya te na Xabi Alonso aboma man yese oko Madrid enti Madrid adwumadi ne benya baso na Liverpool e twen official communique na sempo se bi owura no aba boma man ye mete se anope no yese emsa fedie wanya catch from say we benya kwena Madrid no we NHS say uye coach a ondo ho Ancelotti to make request ni pina wo ma batogu o make request na ma batogu Xabi Alonso yes one so kwaye say wanya Martins Mendia wo mo pe e say Florentino Kaja say Shuameni ni Kamavinga ho brother for mo yet man ejudi what I say one on to ma o be ma na only place Ancelotti kaso pa woman feel cry okaso pe defender woman farmer no wo can striker o man fi ba still na no ye twa so benya resource so man catch be ma onye yes you go to 60 million go fa Zubimendi ye swag na eji man for players in Tishwameni no ene Kamavinga o mo yadwuma brana fa nkoda no enso abeya dwuma no we fa no se Franco Baresi ye bi se o futuo bi de ma young talent o mo ba Baresi ball hey na ya munkopa bi hwa Baresi no yes Baresi say football and talent alone enye enough na uya akwada na afa na afa bana te se la me yama de ni bia de uye ahobrase humility I was wo bro was na was bompa say lack ebedi wachi sa wo level ni nyina mu na se no for so many years because obi won ma ball no ni bompa no kwani tinye wo pra no abam no pra no ko no pra no fed you off bon catch mo ball on boy no masa akonya Ghana na 17 black starlet na say o ye woduma sa anti only Franco Baresi say I was so bumper say be a lack ebe favor na fe aka ho chese o des ni nyina ama chese no enso aye kakra frimo enso ade ba sansem ni nyina no ye de eme e chef enano pay enso I was show so quick me ba aye Manchester so ade chenano pay ye be Premier League no NHS La Liga ma mama ayo players our basketball mo Golden State Warriors atenam ama Houston Rockets atwomo 115107 onum sam no ka say no wo matena ma say mama Rocket for no e di game no call aye game 7 series na tie aye 3-3 aye tied our men sam yanti game 7 why now bo asha no qualify mama Warriors coach Steve Kerr obi on abano say be game 7 our boss anti our experience in Tanama Warriors almost supporters ni feel say and yes a coach about game 7 sam probably all there and you be experience about Brahma Steph Curry no am also at me qualify because Shaq could before question about Maka Curry the come Steph Curry only say na police game and no pay no our Ghana time none by fan say Cameron akwara ni su our stance no papa ni Steph Curry and I call the ban ona come on su na me so de ono o sika of you say su no person papa lu game na papa go for Bobby bia o bi na o ma be start game say 3 pointers o mo practice na bra ba bia wo nyina gina tu ya bia shem yet o ma lu su sa game nti afai yentie Steve Kerr our brand experience our game 7 say game 7 no Rocket and Warriors ebesiako.
It just feels slower. It feels like most game 7s are kind of rock fights. There's a different vibe. There's a nervous vibe with the home crowd, and there's just a sense of all right, we're finally here. It's been 2 weeks and both teams throwing haymakers at each other and all that, and that's why people love watching them at home. Game 7s are special, and they're fun to be a part of. It just feels slower. It feels like most game 7s are kind of rock fights. There's a different vibe. There's a nervous vibe with the home crowd, and there's just a sense of all right, we're finally here. You know,
TV and I can say Facebook and so and YouTube Juma digital and a satellite and so at them Biaba Fabia on Sabit me can afi one monitor bina yet they can so and so a day. I'm a member for na yen to us from Mezana Bibia I find it.
I don't fancy me did 2 years also
body Mike now Bibia I find
feeling irate.
Okay, so everything cool.
Media cool.
For all of Tali, I'm site one of my brethren.
Media cool, media pan.
Thanks, Fija.
I have other young
maybe I find it.
I'm just over here on your manoa.
Yeah,
I drove a do bad party all year because of my baby. You know, my music all day, but so no, no, dear face. So I
know you want me to
Chinese wine. No, and 5 summer. If I summer,
you know, here why your brother talk about.
Oh, one crack. I say,
so one day or canana, one tears here.
I'm trust it. Oh, my bombing her.
I say with me.
I like the Chinese wine.
They will not bomb it.
The Chinese wine.
Think you just got a gas here, will bomb it to me. I guess and you want peace in papia kuma so you born man no pay Rastafari and none of them mammy rock na didn't man am you know sometimes you on see
yeah
bu on man oh man I say you say kabade stamp power baby 5 million Ghana cedis said the account man ka upload but na biasa can say hey one my week be or third about 20,000 Ghana cedis every week so no be say nka wo betimi yeah.
No, but so, the like say, in all your gettings, get money.
Oh yeah, second Mike. I'm not saying say.
You're part of the world now.
Yeah.
Maybe if you know, money solves 70 to 80% of our problems.
Yes.
The only say spiritual, no. Money will solve 70-80% of it. There are physical limitation. Money will solve 70-80% of it. Education, money best of it 70-80%. In this part of the world, money solves 70-80% of our problems. Money. The upper visa, the upper visa, no person to coin copeska. Obi page, Obi school, then a certificate. Everything, but most,
yeah, me can say
70-80%.
But
I don't make a story. Will I say? Oh, they have a story. Story. When you swear, story. You say. So can even no call as well as a bompire. Nah, what says Cafono? A face to be a more condemned pass. Some more business grow. No more sow seed. Send a bear or more jumano a better. Until wakwa soy or bompire na or hana. Mammy be borao. Na ready no for mammy bra. General, no so me ba yare. He had not to hospital. Na me here be 1,000 cedis mediatia. Ami ahwene yan or say Jeko na we na odwanya kopa asum sa no. Exactly the point. Enti empire no more na yede no more na sika no hia pa. Sika fo ne empire ni gidigidi sa. Me say yeni issue no dey high bebre. If you go to the church now we can say oh yeah opinion sampling and now we poll say why obia antro ne hawa how mo betro no 80% eye die eye sika ne ye ne fapem me ban person ko school sika Ghana na obia university ne kokra ye den e die ntia obi oni scan protocol obi o scan when your results no but protocol piano kwa kwehye nim
so my friend mo nice
so in all your gettings
on old danker
in all your gettings get money but unye scan so we are no abompire so obenya nyansa e dey account
and I harmonize new bit way
Joshua marriage tattoo
oui
yeah oui
na beaucoup na beaucoup ya
on sait que je suis marié à you tout near you
je m'appelle Francis de Maria.
Oh gracias mi amigo So what the French you man or Spanish or catch or what or where you man no. Oh yeah. Ubo can say French no. Me can Spanish. For Spanish man no said what the part why here or no o catch man.
Wontumi.
It's the way no pemu pay abana. When you pay you know we say no fair na. Ya yanko. Na football hu pa we are. We your story say Dean Heisen Obeba Madrid and now on Bana Pires say up a big team about oh since for 50 million. Oh my body ma obi ehu a ye hu de why or football mo afi na wo fefe ba or club crab Bournemouth e be your ho wo so ba Real Madrid no oh bobo 50 million but yeah that's not the problem. I've been asking myself say a kwan be so na ya na a club be apart from Sikai Butchery where Amiki Elkan a kwan be so na ya na club be a faso a can send be buano at the two player between a man babisia kind of such a club no football administration and with diverse ways. Now me imagine them say Spain for me no or me big clubs Real Madrid, Barcelona, but there have been the emergence of other big clubs and I'm saying in the last 20-30 years and dear this is can you be our football no yeah those clubs in which me this can the corona now Madrid, Barcelona person with this PSG, Manchester United omuntu first can here Arsenal crack home Liverpool and yes omunyo me kasa omu will be they have it but what is the Casamna Tonchea? Florentino Perez and I want Laporta, Mama who say, Yow, football administration or different level. Yeah, or different level. For instance, Florentino Perez, look at the kind of players I will pay. Look at the kind of players I will not Perez and will pay. So, we are young boy to say, young boy crowd or about well football moon, Pacific Bon Crown credibility, Bacola more. What is that Perez on fire? Yes, when you do stage, I want to table on discuss it. Come on, we are Bacola, no name. Musiala more mobile. When you do stage, he wants to see you propagate to the next stage and Sana Waba. Look, shall be Mbappe. She might be a Bukayo Saka Babedru. And I've been asking myself, say, Osha Galactico now put it together. Now the first one, no, Zidane, Mo, Ronaldo, David Beckham, Carlos Mo, squad. No, how did he do that? As a club president, then or yes, Jumano. Are we saying in acquiring or football player acquisition or down to money? And you need down to money. And you need say club win is but how do they do that? Say club no man from that. Player open no. Say Mbappe no not Chelsea here big quality players. Liverpool players, papa. But the guy who wanted to play for Real Madrid. And now you have other players of Van Dijk, more Konate, more they wish some it. How do they do that? Look at Juan Laporta, maybe Abasa Titoye. After name Sikarakova, Griezmann, and Ousmane Dembele, Coutinho, and fa two players Sikabe Bremo and fa. Then the guy just came in after set Bartomi Mobi Diaguno, yen free. Basa studios or some Mama Messinko. That decision alone ebe many T also memoir sign or do year campaign be we na fe Messi people na no one so say then see Messi in person back to camp no be no way but also yes because of the club no yeah. And I'm a boy abaso because how did he do that? Greatest player ever in the history of the club. Big players about Barcelona, Maradona, Rivaldo, Romario, Buameyao. But Messi is still the greatest. Ronaldo, Firmino, Figo, who? But Messi is the greatest. Look how he dealt with the guy. Oh, Pe Akonyana Babefa back and all the Messi in the campaign. But he knew said no Messi need continue to Obasa. Because Messi Gigi salary increment and we go club no. Yes, we go to some Messi as I love Messi. A club no sika sem. Yes. Yeah. But how do they do that? Say more of the club no a slide free rail no so was they back about so. look at Hasefo Kotoko. How are we getting back to where we were? If these guys can move Madrid, fight Liverpool, no fight Chelsea for no fight Juventus, no fight Bayern, still no more putting Madrid in Barca in shape.
And even Florentino now can answer some quite say Okoeno. Madrid for now we say club no sinking. It was almost Akofanaba.
Yes, you're so right here. Okoye.
Bayern will be
changes baby. And look at generation, you know how target you know. He targeted Ronaldo, Benzema, Ezekiel Garay okay, that squad no. Or target you more for Barcelona squad down the Washington. And once I Mbappe Mubium, Edward Moba. The only thing left in the say Mbappe Mu project in the defense and I break it down, unfortunately. All the way saying because figure more the end here, na backland that's solid. Na method no good team no be available. But say no. Whilst Vinicius can be talked to, Mbappe can be spoken to, whatever no. Omako young wingers aba yaw. The defense needs a lot of repair. Trameni nene omo cry epese omo reserve because of the yellow card. I mean, can Real Madrid as someone who is Tramenia or Ilusunu Obisru. But the squad has been depleted this season. But me bonko for me no abaso because you kromoha. We've seen clubs. Now what no administrators for club but they don't know how to bring the club back. Story in the what different day ni yebedi honko. Pep Guardiola is a good coach, but I feel no actually na me catch come here and I make you inside the say he's risen the standard so high for himself. Okobo FA Cup final but
yeah, I want to say you find so my failure.
No boy bokra. I feel discussion be I tell takra body dey feel say the boss.
I feel Pep Pampa should go out to say
yes. Oh, but he said a statement be an person become so Wontumi replace Kevin De Bruyne. I mean me ya adwene. What check Pep wa? The past players Wontumi replace yomo. The former players Wontumi replace yomo. A funny different way na deko. A funny different way na deko. Onya ya Toure Mascherano was Spain. Well, you saw more method or you saw more defense. So okay. Or you saw more defense. Onya Philip or right back. Or Germany. Or you saw more method. He's a coach. The way you know, or had so maybe you for another account. Basa will profile and Kasankasa losing Messi, who has been the next Messi ever since we free Spain. He hasn't gotten one. We'll replace Bernardo Silva. He hasn't gotten Bernardo Silva replacement. David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, all of them want to replace him. But Obeko with different profiles of players. And you know, when you Messi creativity, no about double number 10s in KDB Bernardo Silva. Originally, it was KDB David Silva Bakono and SSI. Pep, our transitional process. And so Akasa want to replace KDB. He's so right. How would you replace KDB? Profiles are not meant to be replaced. Profiles, but systems there. With me replace, 4-3-3 can be replaced, but those within the 4-3-3 cannot be replaced. With me replace Xavi, we replace Busquets. No winner. So Busquets and then Rodri, they are still different. The Busquets, the baby Nana Rodri deba. The protection he gave to Alonso, Iniesta, Xavi, Spain. Even though the Man City, Busquets was up there, but Pep finds a way to go, and it don't mean John Stones. So also to me replacing now. So be it. My major games, quickly. Barca game the Barca. Barca are very careful. As I feel like no more to say these games, to me lose season. No, so Shadrack already on my line up and Barca the ball of lead. First leg of this reverse encounter, the quality, the depth, the balance, and the stability within that Barca lineup, and that hoping 7-0 score line. Look at the lineup. Obia Hansi would wish says we not the ball in Milan. Everybody is available. Marc Casado was on top of the game, protected Pedri, Daniomo, Vinfion. No, Jaya Yaman, Lewandowski, Rafinha in the final third. Baldi was real. I mean, look at the rating. Biaso green or high blue, apart from Marc Casado, 6.7. By contrast, Chevado lead for squad no red. Now so ya line up here who ni we mu never ba. we mu ne beba na we na ehu no aloho na ode Christian say partner no me misro ho Jared Martin ne Hector Fort ho no me misro
only option
ni ho
because we call San Siro
enye yizo. Hey yo,
and the last time I saw Barca acquiring the Champions League who they see that was Signal Iduna.
Season in na fena Hanse Fleck like I said men can say
that feel e be we
afena adru bunum pa ba bia windy zones na fena adru pa. Look at the squad nanka in terms of quality dia emrante here wa yaw enkomo quality and so far at some point on the leader of this attack Lopez up and coming vibrant number 10 all back a crack Gavi or I've said it's Lopez and Drew Bassa number 10 but Gavi Torres all of them, but the reality is that we work together to build that kind of chemistry here team no and never do lead for Bema Bassa a very tough time. I wouldn't want to venture on the score line, but game were very tight. I have marginal win at the Mabasa. It's nowhere near the 7-0 no. The sign show to me forget it. They are the weakest. Oh well, that's fine. No, I'm beat me. They are the weakest defense. League about 86 goals from a concede. They can't score. They have scored about 20 something goals, almost about 30 games. So Valladolid is Bema. Now Madrid, Diano, and now I'm on Celta. And also another tricky game because all the La Liga table now. Shadrach at the bar. Do a toss of 40 now. A move across ne Barca now about 16 points difference, and then watch it here. Bilbao the toss of 40 60. 76 Barca about 16 points difference. Now about 72 from second position Real Madrid, and also so just 4. Honor baby and common. Celta de Vigo this season one of the stubborn sides. La Liga
because they say Madrid in Europe. La Liga no kwana kama no.
But then common Asia Barca and Madrid problems.
Why you have you say young fan say Barca beats me a share no cost 79 Madrid beshe no so cost 75 Barca beats me lose Madrid beshe Barca beats me a share Madrid beats me lose I want to me
yeah
so Madrid no nim say o share ne and Barca na be di carbon Madrid be watch na so irrespective of result to be seen e bia no e be nyen sunsun so classic no so
definitely na the common so tie say oh yeah game ya boy fa ba so the next game ne kan classic na wo kan fa so ne motu ni
be attention so
be attention now Madrid squad no so na ho di nyina boss Celta enya sunsun so classic no
or week more to prepare
week how about injury take you beyond
obo ochina Sunday classic ni weekend Barca so be bomb midweek.
What do you coaches a bench players at this point? Sakabaka Valladolid there. Oh, Daniel Bobby Mumbo. First time you were free. Statistically, injuries about more during this stage of the season. Saying Tamana ya starting. Statistically, because of the game load, the injury load on the muscles, all of that. Until at this time, no, you don't take risk. Now, on take a risk there. Madrid bet me have full strength in terms of physicality against Celta and do same against Barcelona in a week time. Now they risk they say play obenya knock, but knock not mean return in a 7-day period. That brings more problems to Real Madrid side now. But in my opinion, Clasico no a huge pride. Media magu mu kakra. Na me ma ho den na twen Clasico no. Ugu so kakra league na slip off. Yaw. Chelsea Liverpool me kaka ketua bi na me nua take over. Liverpool dey na be na dey ahoden abo game we. Ho na person me hwe game ni free as a coach.
Pride.
Liverpool. Apart from pride, nothing.
He was a coach and so open 90 points and above.
Oh, so attack
more than 90 points.
But it's a game no kick over. The me who so ade ja bibe bo game no. Chelsea. About game no with more purpose. Chelsea. This game is purported for points. Our Chelsea side. Similarly, Liverpool so points no they are not the because league need me fan say Jerry. And your record ne pride as me work here. But Chelsea because we free the Champions League spots war. Because when we set table no how na Newcastle so. Maybe a Chelsea ne nam no. How na Forest so enenam. If you slip obe slide ya ba be show him. But I feel say in terms of quality collectively on the field, Liverpool head to head on the Chelsea one or huge upper head. You know it. Liverpool huge upper head, but maybe a game no cost Nintino. Remember Chelsea the edge say obetimi win against Liverpool.
Okay, well, new me that say my memory so na fe membra meza ho ansana Mike Abam meza.
Yes, fancy ma yencheti for near ma eti for akwaba. There is a saying that when football forgets its history, is doomed to replay its defeat. They say football on the referee na bako sembia. Ana de neko empempensobia ansha the SCA trembino. Ana din se obetimi asa akɔhwɛ no asade aba. Na me say ya de referee asa so ayede abrɛw. The man may can't say we in say there are various things that have happened in football. In synergy with certain clubs we are involved. So for example, Obeshe say the history of the Calciopoli. Where the Crampona Juventus Humbebum Kakra because when I'm commodity in your we break off the buy. But check the rate at which the Serie A is being played out. And your mommy you know and your teanum say you know. A bit me see when it comes to the Serie A title race. One, a bit me about say Liga boy one team penny baby as no waje. Watch your points in ma points will be intimate inclusive. So it could be say Napoli bet me lose in the next games in Inter Milan be found no Belgian league. It could also mean say Napoli bet me lose only one game. Na Inter Milan share. Then for the second time in the history of the competition, you have a playoff. Since the inaugural season of the Italian Serie A in 1929-1930, you have bought several playoff games to determine relegation, to determine European Cup, to determine a lot of things. But only one spare. And you have bought the playoffs in the history of the Italian Serie A
to determine the champion.
Yet America say BBCB in synergy with certain clubs near say. The last time now is CN was in 1963-1964 season. And then se Bologna come about Cosemoa. One of their best seasons are in the history of the Italian Serie A. Another club that was involved in that particular situation was Inter Milan. This time around, you didn't come out this season ye bo Bologna din say Bologna form no manya no e wo suru bebre ana obia so ye comparative analysis na opeso de bo Bologna aba so okọ back to 1962 1963 1964 no agina so aka say emretintin sei ana Bologna abra free sa time ni besisa evesisa amre no manya opportunity crampo be Champions League back to back. Because Ocheki in 1962-1963, Omo the Champions League. So 63-64, but before that, not 61-62, Omo qualified for top 4 too. So between 61 and Banana, Bologna form no osro. So in 63-64, no more drew a certain pick be and I was on Mutimbo more than no Mutimiji the trophy under Fulvio Bernardini. As at that time. But only Inter Milan also on the other hand side now more top players that have gone to the World Cup to come almost our Ballon d'Or winner. Because Jair Costa was from Brazil and no Magic World Cup or deba. Then there was Luis Suarez who was a Ballon d'Or winner in the 1960s. It in terms of squad, and Bologna team be on they was Rubio Metimini Inter Milan and they are competing. Now fast forward. How the league was determining the results near free mobile na when I say to be a football no the black or the dark side of football na ya kadebiano anantiase ne bi wo akiri kakra no obewu mu ene den fancy Bologna ebo league na wa bona oni AC Milan Inter Milan boso points afi ye remu in February a Bologna kwakoshe AC Milan by 2-1 or send by 2-1 and that means points gap no na be kaka those days na points na 3 points na 2 points. The 3 points in Italian Serie A history was introduced in 1994. It is during that period of time no omukobo no mo say 203 days and omo de ba bontin said there be Bologna players be because they had a good squad. It was dominated by the Fantastic Four: Helmut Holler, Fogli, Borganari, Nelson Harrod, Omokofano after the Rome Olympics. in 1962-1963 was 19 goals. 63-64 Bologna league no 21 league goals.
Okay.
Top striker. And almost Oma fan Nubone. 3 days later no Oma fan in Dubone nti ye momo ye do mbe kwa twe mumu time. League na se kwan be fa so esi na be fa so bia omuntimi league ne bia no omuntimi nye. Ba ye ra de bi kakra. During that time na Italian Serie A clubs akwa sign a document say omuni omo federation na say league ni mpanyifo omo fo mo nkokot because clubs ni na aside bi it is a munya case bi na wontimi ntam ho mfa ho pete na nkokot nkoka se me de league ne ba court da bia nya adwuma it omo twi form so no de bo omo ne yese Bologna supporters mi ense bi sore se da bi ye ntwema sa de wonya dai enkoso but fast forward Inter Milan ko se Bologna e wo Bologna fie that means Inter Milan be league ni mo wo so timije but good results against Catania, against Pal, even Fulvio Bernardini no your coach no ye banning for 18 solid months with the key players need omo kotena baby but you see ye say emu yire no ana court ba bonti say there be asem na supporters ne de buy na no kre that time no money Inter Milan ye tied on points no mo see there be there was a points ni mo ade e de mamu no mo de ma o mo no mo sa reinstall Fulvio Bernardini. And the next games they went on money on be tied on points. So Bologna won the playoffs by 2-0. The entire Mecca synergy season teams aligned with this story in Nigeria say, and they didn't come on as because the playoffs of the Italian Serie A. 18 men yes about the DB, men Inter Milan. But in Bologna, on Napoli. But the entire Bologna so who ni say who is 63-64 neighbor na Bologna any be papa bia biem to the last 2 seasons are oma fight into the Champions League playoffs. So whenever Bologna's form is up there, Inter Milan has come into this particular question, and the last time a CCAB playoffs in the Italian Serie A happened in 63.
Wontumi 101.3 Nyaminsawo.
Very likely say Lecce because fancy the Ekeka Kono, Lecce, I think Lecce is 1 point or 2 points off the relegation zone, maybe a Modano. And it will be very critical for them, say, and now make many good results there at Napoli. At the same time, Inter Milan in any head to Amienu. Said the Champions League in the return leg, because first leg no went to me and be fancy. Ala Barcelona team where a team will make me actually move on in idea form. It is one balance with team ni no one find good results was so beshi, but they are playing against Hellas Verona. Our mobile the Stadio di Giuseppe Meazza. Now Inter Milan will need to instill hope in their fans using this particular game as a makeshift. Because once setting the foundation in the standard now, don't crave for an atmosphere on Tuesday. Now, you need a certain level of atmosphere. There is quality on the pitch, there is quality in tactics, there is quality in systems, but you do 2 years of supporters in the 12 man a push you.
True.
It is what these games setting the tone, the mouth towards the Champions League game, especially when you are playing at home. Because all Lusu game will Giuseppe Meazza. Barcelona will be very much confident coming into this particular contest. And I'm feel Verona Crayusro we muna over bay. But what to meet Tiano now more a specific atmosphere be Barcelona so teacher because there be a conform renew home. Form ne it was a careful going into this particular game. It at all costs, Inter Milan might not be able to field key players be to sell Marcus Thuram because I believe that none was an Otogusu Kaka football fitzer. But Ebia Marco Anatovic, Mehdi Taremi, these guys will need to step up for Inter Milan Yamiado because Ubo Hellas Verona, we are Taremi, we are Anatovic, Ubo Inter Milan. Now Wontumi for team ways who are betting now for your resource and far more fear, meaning you have no business playing for Inter Milan next season.
Yeah.
It is ene. We are Stefan de Vrij now be natural one more. And you can say Udim Yoma Bibri Momoko, Mathieu Damien, Carlos Augusto. Solid players. But I believe that this is a game Inter Milan will not sit at home, lose, going into a Champions League game. Abra a crucial encounter against Barcelona. Inter Milan to win either half on a safe note. Anytime goal scorer, Meko for Marco Anatovic, and I say Federico Di Marco in this particular game. But Lecce in Napoli, the American. Lecce has been good travelers against big size. Because Marco Lazio only Lazio Akobo 2-2 Biaba. Marco Nyanya draw crucial, frustrating results against some of the top sides in the Italian Serie A away. But I will fear no results in India because in the last 9 games, I let you fear no fancy we draw 3 and we lose 6. But two different moments for these two teams. Maybe a Verona than Verona I pray for the end. But maybe a Lecce than Lecce pray so be survive because maybe a Verona than a Verona is 6 points away from the relegation zone. Meaning 4 points adrift from being in the safe zone, 40 points. It only a pressure and said and yet I want to be any subebri. But Lecce no baby or than so loose. Monza money on call for no did you much in a push the Baba sign and a relegation as was beba. If you are playing a wounded lion, fancy this is a game I'll become why very careful kakramame. Napoli to win either half. Napoli and more also some Lecce because of more quality team. I'm not saying they more also, but I'm always being careful due to the situation at Lecce. I find themselves where they to survive say omonko relegation. To Napoli to win either half in this particular game, and even over 1.5.
Okay.
In this particular game between Napoli, prevention is better than cure. There is Roma and Fiorentina 1 point spend is a picture of you. I think Claudio Ranieri is not celebrated enough.
101.3
but only celebrated enough. Ni nyuma gua, ni nyuma ne kasa kire de bia se coach we. Opa bu no, opa memu no, opa men celebrate no. Ni nyuma ne yede eguo. I've always said say Jose Mourinho adwuma be ye in 2005, 2006, 2004, 2005. Foundation Claudio Ranieri ne lay with Chelsea. So let's not forget in 2003, 2004, and your man Claudio Ranieri, a year or Chelsea, ni baby or the Chelsea drew, and son of Jose Mourinho be day. Ebefa. To lay foundation. No? So Jose Mourinho needed to come and pick up the team and force it. Instill winning mentality, push the team, and Odomoji Premier League back to back. Now, Wakofa Leicester City, the Leicester City Ababeji League with the Premier League in him. How many times they will search a fairy tale story? Or the one in Ngolo content than drink water and West Morgan. It is baby I walk on and namina or say coaching who were jai new to also coaching beam or Tifia or Dreno. Then a coach or no Tifia. Everybody says so we say what real school see book look around kind of killer series beam. Or buy a crown or buy a imasa or solve board no so cratch in the pakra or no original. Pack and so on, and what the classroom or crowd was no. And 18 games undefeated. Fancy, this is not a small feat. 18 solid games. Now, how many teams going to bet me 10 games undefeated? And this is a Roma team, I know be enemy say, but and your mama realizing you know the Ababeka team no. 1, the mentality of the team has changed. 2, the physical flaws of the team no. Wapegem, Mehe Indika. Manu Kone, Pellegrini, fancy, man-to-man marking. 6 feet and what? 20 now Komumama. You can't even Wontumi shake your more off easily. It's among the likes of Sulemo, a fan no more born in the 2 net. Fiorentina air concerned almost a conference league ball. Crucial because Robert is a show 2-1. Roma to win either half in this particular game. Bologna Juventus, Medicaka Bologna Wasem. They will qualify for the Champions League again. Juventus are careful in that particular game. Vincenzo Italiano. Or more Coppa Italia final ball. But Pessoa secure on itself. Because when you win the Coppa Italia, it takes you to the Europa League. It doesn't take you to the Champions League. Champions League never be your money. And on what about the Casem say, Omu free muno, I be on my results be on Munyani say no. The confidence of my picking from the Champions League, meeting some top teams. And I'm also more believe in themselves. Say, do you want to me or Madie? Medie Bologna ni Juventus there. Fancy say Juventus ba ko she Bologna away. Renato Dall'Ara hono stadium hono difficult. Me remember Bologna handicap one goal. Okay. In this particular game. Yaba man there I ba be AC Milan there differently. But Premier League there so hit it up. especially for the top 4 race. Because for the Italian Serie A, there is league and there is top 4. But for the Premier League, it is only about the top 4 because the Liverpool League, they are confirming that they are told you. But it's not top 4 in Newcastle, Chelsea, Aston Villa, Manchester City. What about 5 teams or more play? So we move to the top 4. Then this weekend there is Chelsea and Liverpool. What is the motivation for Liverpool? The motivation for Liverpool here say as lot person more accumulating 90 points in EB. No more season with 91, 92, 93, 94 because league is a. So between the two, pressure about Chelsea is also because Omakunya good results in the Conference League. They don't need to worry about a return leg. But for the top 4, there is a need to get some good results. What Chelsea players now? Almost a match number 1 on Sunday need special. Match number 1 on Sunday need to say. But what's a test of character for this particular Chelsea team? Fancy last season omo faili. A test of character for this Chelsea team. The last season omo faili exams no. This time around, no, they will need to some back chile we are seeing and I say Maresca also chile say Mauricio Pochettino no buy any as well failing no. Oh buy no. What will the team not track or a certain level? Yankas the Chelsea are illegal. And our top 4 near Chelsea standard derby. But the reality is that is where Chelsea find themselves. So they will need to fight to enter into the Champions League due to the amount of money you must spend it. So if they will need to fight the next step towards Omu project now my yana. Or my involve yourself around Conference League on nothing until one ano. Or make graduate to the Champions League next season to give the team the boost and confidence. Difficult game. Game where they goes. Over 1.5 and Abetimako over 2.5. Anytime goal scorer, Ubetimako, Ediamako Palmer this weekend obesi form. I could be shaking on. I'll be shaking on. Obe shaking on. Because I'm not paralyzed.
101.3. Nyamin Sawo.
Obe shaking on kakrebi. But don't overlook players like Nicholas Jackson so in this particular game. So best step up. Liverpool better try be changes back but good results for Manchester City and Ra. Goes for the Drainy City pa.
Omunya chances be kwa no san.
Omu Drainy City brutal.
Mate.
But I think good results for Manchester City. But Aston Villa will look forward so on so bit might be against Fulham. But Marco Silva no so do games is here and home one ba no. Almost wa pejani. Match awadri ni sukra no. Eho and Marco Silva a hard dream in this particular encounter. Arsenal and Bournemouth and Kohan ye careful.
Whoa, match it, Mike.
Fancy, me that say and I think I must start Facebook now. Shadrach the screenshot be send them say a guy made a request. Me refi nipa
Wrexham bina now.
Yes, I say Wrexham.
I know baby buza so we Google on the phones one.
Oh. So let's tell the story. Wrexham, one of the oldest clubs in the world. Per document available. The oldest football association club, an association football club, is Sheffield FC, which was founded somewhere in 1857. Now, Notts County, the oldest professional association football club, omo 1862. Maybe say Shadrach me ya dey be onfa Wrexham for no logo no media send non fan toso. Or the toso you see the year the club was formed. Okay. And it will feed into the narrative. Or checking webs
okay, so 1864.
So if Notts County 1862, Sheffield 1857, Wrexham 1864, then about him, the third oldest association football club. And it is the oldest football club in Wales. Omo free England. Omo a Welsh club. So we show omo logo no omo crest in him no. You can see the dragon. Until you the dragons. Another town. Then almost see a Dutch words be HDN. HDN no. Simply it means I serve. Now Wrexham boboku ache pa and they have a rich history. But more history no do na no. Were the lower divisions of the British football pyramid, maybe an English football pyramid. British, because they've competed in Welsh football, and again they are competing within the English football pyramid. They say clubs almost free Wales or more system name, maybe a Cardiff, maybe a Swansea. They are not typically English clubs, but they compete in the English football pyramid. Wrexham Eden Hobe Konkon why the obey be a local champions, and then a see hono. Until the intervention of two people with relatively no association football background. Omo they are Hollywood, omo chasene. They are movie actors and very good at that. One of them is Ryan Reynolds. If you are not a movie fanatic,
yes.
But if you know the movie Deadpool, attire comedy exactly. Exactly. The other back kind of baby now a Deadpool.
Okay.
Good. Ryan Reynolds and Nadamfo. Oh no, see a movie artist. Rob McElhenney and Rebecca Bomwa or Mobeto Wrexham, and they bought Wrexham for £2 million. £2 million, and this was like some 6-7 years ago. McElhenney no, maybe I won't kind of be on as popular side as compared to Ryan Reynolds, but he had a role over the Game of Thrones in him. He played a part. Game of Thrones, even at Sharon, we now exactly. And it was the episode of the Winterfall.
Okay.
Yep. One chewum, he will fade. He just made a cameo. As okay. So the two friends omoye just engaged in Hollywood. They are celebrities. And omobeto Wrexham. Omobeto Wrexham, no, they were in the 5th tier of English football. And omo investment, any omo status, are driving the club from obscurity. As a oblivion, ye nimomo. And omo the omo celebrity status. Ama club na ye popular.
Yes, because
and then omo the omo investment sika. At the Iraq club nimo. Ama omo promotion ama next season. Yankopon ya adomoa. They will play in the 2nd tier of the English football pyramid, which is the Championship. How did they do this? So the story begins. Omo beto a club no for £2 million, you know. Now, if they are selling Wrexham, they will realize no less than £150 million.
As investment now,
exactly. Kaya Maresca, in the first season, Chelsea called pre-season way. US.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Wrexham.
Yeah, Wrexham.
Wrexham no League One. But pre-season, omo US to make them popular as well. And to open one of the most followed English clubs or British clubs omuni the top tier anymore. Wrexham and number 1. And yes, it's Sikasem no. Hollywood for a commercial. They are doing this for commercial reasons. Because at the end of the day, they are investors. Now, they are not investing in the club as a hobby. They are also looking at projecting the club to a certain level. You're low, but high. Now, for Okoyi folks now, Washington Kama, Eddie Abba boutique, no the same out so. And to Okoton first level, no 50 cities or the boutique or beton of 500 cities. Sana we mo peso omoye. They are enjoying the investment and everything. But eventually the time will come when they realize say your football no mo person mo ya de ko enim, but they are rather investing in a venture just to make it profitable in the future. They are businessmen aside being actors. Until mo be far Wrexham no, omo be League 2. They invested in recruiting players or money. But more experience no, and no more born in sheda anything. And maybe for young ones at the account. And they have certain principles on this show team no. They look out for players of British origin, either Ireland, Scottish, English, or whatever. Welsh. Near Kamwa Bom near the Marble. So in the League 2, they are the highest a year payroll. Omu payroll near £3 million.
And then Yeah, Busa was said for them to go for preseason in the US. It means Omusika some year. But the one your question is over. No, no, before you go to state for preseason,
qualify for League One now. I'm qualify for League One. I'm preseason no. It wasn't because they were the richest League One club. Okay. Birmingham Sikano was rushing on. Okay.
So based on US tour.
No, me a projection. They want to project them.
No,
I'm qualify for one.
No,
yeah, no, about preseason. No, means they make a here. So it wasn't because they had money. So we are Sikani baby, and I say a Sikani tier, but they are projecting the club to increase in value. Next, almost say what you say. A Sikana, they are businessmen. Anna, you're businessmen, you're rich men. Rich men is Sikafono. So if it was about money, then maybe the richest clubs could have done that.
League 2 no qualify by League 1.
Exactly, like Birmingham. Birmingham had money, so they could have come for the US tour near there. But women were deliberate with that action. It was an investment. So it wasn't a spending made because we have money. But Medisika way shame for that chinti. You said the owo Bruno, and over there in Coco. And to know where Bruno or they pen and Coco dachi. And that is what they are doing. From the League 2 to League 1 and now to the Championship. And that is the miracle of a story of Wrexham AFC. I had two people with no footballing background, but again understanding what the sports entails and deciding to invest into it. Would they continue to spend more? Make sure that from here, no, they will be looking at other investors because Championship ne spending power no we ma who they them to me. They will need say eventually be better now because no more relegate they have a parachute payment of 39 million pounds even before we start the season. Outlay no. What come from League 2 day by no Ekabomua or more than end 20 million pounds. So it means you need to raise your spending power, and they will need much more investment to be able to do that. Their dream is to play in the Premier League, but no crown no, it will be much more money and much more investment into the club. But fancy away from that, and then there were itinerary here. Paris FC for normal qualify for the league. And man for their stories we brave. First of all, for stadium no, and for picture into one bang. And what this derby will give us a remake of the past. Once again, clubs were in a bang because omu yinano omu fuma every bakumu omu ye pet. Shomu logo ni din. Who Eiffel Tower?
Eiffel Tower no wom.
And
there's a PSG for your modern red. Good. And a Paris for near the blue and white.
And the PSG for near the red and blue, le rogue blue. And a way modern pure blue and a white wom. But Omina uses the nickname the Parisians. Where say in a Paris in the air there? Where is a Paris no so everywhere because who free mu na tell. So this is the story of Paris FC and then PSG. Paris FC no about stadium na ya Parc des Princes no. A typical story is similar to Jacob and Esau. Jacob and Esau story no.
To me, 101.3.
Hey, what was Sunday school? Oh. Why are you paying you one egg? Why are you paying you one egg to hey, listen, no fuck around it on so. One cast story and then I to us so.
Oh, quite jay.
Me so. Why are you paying? So fancy. Now, PSG as a club, before they became the PSG we know, next start Saint-Germain. No, me a club or compete in the lower tier. Now there were some businessmen that had the idea. So more person or more a team that will belong to the Parisians. Now see, a Paris team who are all born at the top level a team way. And those two businessmen Bako way Pierre Emile. The dini is some style, but let me get the French names correct. And sana met me answer and a mistake. So their names and everything about them and how they came about to form the clubs. Bako Guy was a mom kind of guy. Guy. So Guy Crescent. And Bako Pierre Etienne Guyot. Those are the two names. In fact, two trim.
Okay.
Pierre Etienne Guyot and Guy Crescent. They were businessmen from Paris. And a club that is typically for the people of Paris. Manfo can relate to. But a virtual club say we trim yante. So they needed to merge with a club already in a activity. Yes, a club already in operation. So they tried clubs within the top level of French football. Or mobile Paris. Club will be a Moko Ibia and Oman for Mutianje. So none of the clubs were willing. No, I said then let's descend to the lower level near Shadier. And that is when they came into close contact with Stade Saint-Germain. Stade Saint-Germain. Saint-Germain no like 15 kilometers from Paris, central Lancaster. Exactly. In Tebianka Kumasi, Saint-Germain ne be a bomb so from a doom. Meaning say they make a watia. Good. So Omone Stade Saint-Germain, they decided to merge. And this was in 1970. Seshak Beboya, on the formation date of Paris Saint-Germain. Who the formation date now? August, number G2 say association football, the 12th of August. But the whole merger, the idea, no, it was on the 17th of June, 1970. Then PSG came into being. A measure between two clubs. Now, before some measure, no, Paris FC need their way a trim, and Pierre Etienne, and then also Guy Crescent, they had that vision as the businessmen. Now, Stade Saint-Germain was being run by Henri Patrel, who was a former player, into an ball club in Nibi. And was also president and on Bekabo. So three men now, moving from two. Pierre Etienne Guyot, Guy Crescent, and now Henri Patrel. In Tinipa Miensano, no more running PSG. So PSG then started from the Division 2. No more body qualifier the next year at the Division 1, which is now known as a Liga. I'm a boy, you know. Now, they decided, say, how will we go about this anyway? In fact, before so what they decided to do here, to consult. Only maybe I'm consult here. Spain, Real Madrid. So I can boldly sit here and tell you, the best form of advice on how to go about it came from Real Madrid. It was then President Santiago Bernabeu. And to Bernabeu, mo ko bisa open the businessman here be a club, but sikasem no ye ho so sa. No, so okay. This is how you can do it. Acquire mobile fast or mobile club ni ni. Monya crowdfunding. You can crowdfunding. I say you find a fundraising. Enti mama supporters ni enchia sika to own the club. And they did the crowdfunding exercise, and Nipa 20,000 almost subscribed here, and that was the seed money for starting PSG. Omoba started we on the board Division 1 no no. They decided say club no Paris for dia. Sadia, I was at the Paris City Council. I was somebody sika beshem near to me peja. So when they submitted that proposal, the City Council came out with a counter proposal that it didn't Paris diasa. So the best thing we can do here, if you are willing to change the name
from
Paris Saint-Germain to Paris FC, then the City Council will invest into the club because that is the So when Guyot any way Guyot and then Guy Crescent, when they told Henri Patrel about it, no, say they be. On the baby of no a Stade Saint-Germain, and the Stade Saint-Germain no a history be a dao. Yent me be dino ntontwene na club na bako 79 ra. into one day he was insistent say send you start Saint-Germain no ebe can Paris ne hu ebe Paris Saint-Germain no. If they are taking the Saint-Germain out, he will not allow. At that time, no music say mo aye ding. No, I'm say okay, fine, no problem. They are here because the city council has offered to help us. Into here hono and ebe Paris FC. Exactly. Yes. So the Paris FC divorced from PSG. And Henry Patron said, no problem. So Matemo who they are. Yes, so no problem. You be copy. So what happened was that Paris FC Tenehono, and obefa Star Saint-Germain the professional status, or far the players a kukudam, and far the Parc des Princes a bobo ne wo. Because the city were now sponsoring them. So Paris FC became a being. Into so the Paris FC, on date of formation to why you will see. So it was 2 years after PSG started competing, but they founded it in 1969 as just a virtual club. Until 72 no, PSG yet Paris ne free mono. Then PSG were administratively relegated to Division 3. Then Henri Patrel went about no kohuya investors be amudis. So they gained back to back and back promotion to the top level. Coincidentally, Paris FC no came ever Division 1 no. After they also the performance bedwendele and no fortunes are turning around for the negative. And no take off from. So the season PSG promoted from Division 2 to Division 1. Now Paris FC and so ye relegated from Division 1 to Division 2 into a bonsa. And now Paris FC were not able to play at the Parc des Princes again. PSG and a ball and a war. What story no?
Just now quite the stadium near.
Oh, but J ye status as the top level club. But ye kwase ekosua ye and ye beda asoro and the be PSG. And a momo team ho because na munim say hwa ben no and amo ekojigu ye and amo ho chire mo. So the club have lingered in between the lower levels of French football. But enra nyankopon ya do mabre wa yipuma okwemu and they have secured promotion to the Ligue 1 again. Inti ebehu Paris FC and then Paris Saint-Germain. How have they been able to do this? They have done this by the backing of a very rich ownership. The ownership groups into so the more profile to subia you will see say atichemu in terms of the ownership structure or more stake also a club name. The ni die di mu pa no no me Paris FC die no. The ni die di mu pa no Ben Arnault no. Ono ana ni agency near Agache Sport 52.4%. Okay, so a brief dive into Ben Arnault. When him Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
Good. When Sabia champagne or mufeno moet.
Amwe.
When Hennessy. Good. LVMH. That is the company. Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy. Onone family dia. Onone the majority shareholder of the now Paris FC. Hennessy no oni Diageo for no omo ye Guinness no omo no omo rane.
Club celebration.
Louis Vuitton no belonging to him. Dior, Christian Dior. A luxury goods conglomerate in him. Again Fendi. I was aligning him. Into baby or free bano. He has a lot of investment. Sika with ye.
And the championship
so now Nasa Bahrain for try to own Paris FC just to rival Qatar for no.
Yeah.
But I'm far. So now they are coming to meet PSG when both of them have money.
Aye.
And that is the interesting one. But their money are more iconic here. Baby Ananke yani boy a ball and when a PSG sees here momo ball. But any stadium no so one chen hope into any mobile face up. So once the home of Paris FC, which is the Parc des Princes, PSG ball. So for Paris FC in their history, almost 2 games against PSG, they will play at home. They will again play against PSG once or more former home.
Yes,
and that is the story. So now there will be the divorce rivalry. The true owners of Paris. Now the Eiffel Tower. But who truly does Paris belong to? In terms of success, it now belongs to PSG. In terms of history, Paris FC for Nebeka said no.
Whoa, Mike, me that say. Anti Wrexham. Any Paris FC diano na Mike Ashim dia me kapo say bibia okay o ho.
Me adom bibia boko.
Na yenkwe.
Sure. Yerem na fi ento aso na yeni nkomo local news na yeberem ewo the under 20 World Cup no ekoso ewo Egypt Cairo ho ana ehwe ni se nua obitima e kama na nra nwumre ana ye team under 20 no mo e boy ye ni DR Congo e de boy ni na game no kwa wie na afi obi ato atena ba ko na ese wo mo e bo 1-1 game no na no e shipa na shara kubenya highlight na me ahwa defenders no nra akomo fa so consider go no so mo gina ho anaja pinball editor is 3-1. Also mushe chiro paintenra defensive blunder keeper no and so always said the new Messi kwazo musi na nimo se den enti eno ani yi highlight no e dey atwenti Ghana ya bomori sheba kuma DR Congo so sheba go game no e ko na wi Abdul Hakim Sulemana ono anenya man of the match e game no e ko so no e Kalmadin Sulemana ninu no anenra otimi ball modin man of the match we game e no etime ko so coach Desmond Ofe after say game no ekọ na ewie no so mo assess team no ene modem mo mabo na mo do betimi aka ne say na the players no poor e finishing enim ho no o mo je ball no no mo de kwa final third na ho ana problem no ba ni nyina echi no game 1-1 a good results at the ma under 20 team no
as expected. Tough opponent, fought for every ball, aggressive as we knew they were going to be. In our analysis, we told the boys they've done well. Unfortunately, how we conceded that goal. But I feel like we dominated the game. We have to finish our chances, and it will surely happen in the next game.
To jam say hono na Mike no emutwitwi ntimo de be che e de afri no kakrefo no ma de benra ana Ghana Premier League na nwumre no ye start kick off na chesenya samgeto takwati ene ana media ma oseminua wo mo bo mo de twa vision e kamiensa e ma vision eti e kanu ba ko nti sei ana game no highlight no eti na yeyi bi e de ama on goals no epie mu e wo takwa de okope wo metu anu mo ye ho adwuma Kingsley Breye e shego Karamadin Mudu and so she go na Abdul Salam omne share 3 goals and the ma me dear ma e wote 90 goals no ana ye highlights no e bi e dia ma live on Wontumi TV and ano pewe e Ghana Premier League no games and a game e course no anwumre I bie kwan e dia ma ene e no chena matches ye re nim se nuama e betima ko Ghana Premier League no ana ye de wonsem e de Elmanti o hwe highlight na goals no ana ye hye bia e ho ayeyi e de ama this Ghana Premier League goals in ye rem na fe Sunday matches no ebeto dwam won kran no ye benya half of community Asante Goroko no 3 p.m. no Baso Nations and Accra Lions a game no enso 3 p.m. no Dr. Chase Sports Complex and Baso Bechem and Legon Cities no Nana Fusuji Abo Park game no Baso Diana enso ne Brekum Chelsea and Anajma Bedu and a game ne Koso na fi Heart of Lions womo Pando Stadium Momene FC Samates at the Boni Young Apostles of 3 p.m. woman Basaka Holy Stars and Bonafi Gold Stars woman Karela and so game no babasun tuwe a matches nyame a doma china a basum of the Ghana Premier League on some no at the mana gamer ye hwe animu se ne analysis pandits ni nyina edu omani ko a kotoko and afi has ne kotoko the Nations Wembley ho and a game no babasun na preparation e de eguso a eno koso no wadakoja team no eguso mo prepare ne omo hwese ne omo do omani ebe chen kran na Kumasi Mayo ene ono ebo adwuma waba for Kinzuba woro ekopie mu ewo adakojachi na okoye no na senya asemgeto akra na nana pinkra ewo ekame Kinzuba abro remu ewo adakojachi na oma welcome introduction yebetie nana pinkra introduction oye ewo adakojachi wia na yato aso de afrio.
Fabulous. This is an unusual visit. we have in our midst the mayor of Kumasi, Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly. Now, we all know the task ahead of us. We've taken it as exactly. It's our final match. Although it's a league match, the only thing at stake is the 3 points. But it's something, it's worth taking the bragging rights. We've defeated them 4 times. This is going to be the 5th time. And they are also saying they're not going to allow it. That is aside the 3 points. So please, as we gather to train, preparing for the match, the mayor and his team, representing the Ashanti Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, is here to give us encouragement, the moral support, and everything we need. Who said, na yeko Kumasi nyina na yeko kotoko ne house match there enye form enye bibia yes we are fan serious almost we fan serious ye dey 3 points in the here omo fa de omba fa bia get fi ombaje omo njiska no ye dey 3 points in here ba beche enti mesramo mo fa sambo nsia meyo
no ano muhia kinzuba ema ono nso ne woka mesin sama wo ede makrobia enti a oba da ko ja chenra no eno nso odi twida
Fabulous. Yes. Fabulous. The greatest. Fabulous. Nana, let me that's it. Team manager ni coach so yara masine adwuma moye. Inside obedi madanse mi team ni me ababa me bo nyina se da ko mandi kotoko si you a me ba ma wi asema anya hwe eti isa de oni me ni nua be fe na osu ya boboa ya ho sa ohene su nim no abejan ba na osu ya boboa ya ho sa se da ko ya ba be kotoko no ya aye de akodu ba bi ayepe na se se de mu na moye enya ma medure ho na kotoko no eya asantefo ye japade kese pa ye fenyago eno ma say who say ya asantefo no ye no ma mienu santene utumfo say tutu wonni esunsum ofiri wa asante kotoko eno ene ye de kekan ho sa asantefo enti asante ni bia japade kese pa ne santene na emu santene japade nso a esom ye nso bo ene kotoko enti kotoko ya mugbe enipa omakuma di machi na ye mpempem
Oditibia say or promise team no say wa kotoko team ni timi bua ko win game na contingent no be ko no obia ba 1000 Ghana to winning bonus ne de say ko na mo hyenko ade amoba
ball no se nipa ne 30 se nipa ne 20 eye 40 a would win ni ba minisika de about contingent obi o kan obia mema 1000 cedis obia nipa ba ko bia indeed apart from
I'm say team no ko ye no say there be so omo be fa car kra no omo de be ko ana omo de flight na ko ani nyina sikasem enti we $1,000 and also isika wode mo omo say omo fan to akire na omo fan ko say de be ya bitimi abo na preparation no aye kama the amakrobia
osi yako ya hubua bibia ye bia de lodija ya kwa $1,000 What's the sako Ghana sikamwa 15,000 Ghana cedis enti eno no di ja ekwan
Kenzuba area to Dane say Monkoy na Monko Shemre no ewonsem na eba kotokode has to say other teams the former players no or more experience or Bobby Dan or so Edo Madrin Cheba Chedi o game no na Francis Akwafo and so on Kotoko any has game no saying and we see who experience a woman any Morano players in before game near didn't you know the same kakra area to the Francis Akwafo kakra and also Ademai.
Last season we starting off na what Kotoko Karim Zito eka coachisha omobu ami Kotoko lata mabo Kotoko ba first time on Malik Jabe na ye kwa karam buchani sano oflona coach afrano so ebeto aso na second one so ba na talatu zoom
na afie ni nkomo emfa wo said wosi wo game no hwan ana ehye because no wabobi ehuna o said enuama enso sitie ntie wonsem kakra eno no say eno nye ready enko Gabriel Opokuwari ono so a former player edema Kotoko no so ekasa fa gamer eno eba ho ntie kakra Gabriel Opokuwari editudwa
yeah born betting because of say enuama enko ye ema has of late na coach watara ni no coaching ebasa na o kwa for society players na mo mutiri eba mo strength it's not going to be easy but the mechanic when na Kotoko against Adriana Stars I was a PC boys more confidence that training grounds omuye training omunye hu bi from you send training grounds anya ho dia hope no onfan ko di Kotoko has kunya confidence in go no ade no beba na when na yes Kotoko to win now
Arian Sam Kakra if you order Banti Gabriel Opokuwari on Karim Zito coach no say no see on gamer and no air basso against coach Abubakar Watara and also Okasai Edefa because no we coach Watara Yipa.
Also, Kuzito by the first match I would want to keep a players not trying to more training sessions with the player. But with the kind of game they played against Adriana Stars. Because Adriana came very strongly. Adriana Bobo forgot to concede the penalty. Almost to us for winning. It is a team. Omoti coach nasi Kuzito dia I'm telling you the truth
I know Gabriel Opokuwari was a coach Karim Zito dia ono gine dia pa coach and so chim say team no omo ayebibia wi my set ahead of the game ba so team no preparation omo di ra game nyame adomo chena coach Abdulkarim Zito say omo I set for the game.
Sunday will not be an easy game for both clubs because I'm lucky to be an ex-player that has played against them with the same club Kotoko, and then I've coached against them with Kotoko, and it's not easy. Even if you don't do well in the league, and you are able to beat us for that, and the supporters somehow will side with you a little bit. So I know the game will be difficult, but as of course and Kotoko till after the 90th minute you can predict because look at the first round game.
The coaching some of the Atudra Kwesi Asma Waro ana Kasa ahead of the game. The ama any team friend house will coach Watara in Tenegano when the player friend Kwesi Asma or in Sam Kakra the Atudra as a team no has and so prepare for gamer Ebaso on Sunday.
Very, very much prepared and we are looking forward to the game.
Generally, how is the preparation like?
When you come to the training grounds, you could see we are all ready. We haven't been happy with recent results, but we have to take it game by game, and we have to leave that one behind us. And as we are about to approach the Kotoko game, we are very much enthused, very much excited, and we are well prepared. We want to exhibit what we have in us to our supporters. So So we rally for their support and hope that they also motivate us.
Wanti kwesi asmade ori atudwa nyame adom ochina gateway ne yesi so e de ama so be kwa Accra Sports Stadium and na fi popular stand 50 Ghana cedi, center line 80, lower VIP 150 and afi higher VIP no 200 cedis, VIP 300 Ghana cedis. We gate fees and nyame adom ochina kwa Accra Sports Stadium so mausika very intact na fi ohwe na all support games and you have a condivancy yem fenzie na afi abia from rem.
Okay, wow, me da say couple new mommy nkomo ye ntwem
ya monitor to brother ko and you for one
oze
yeah shara kama me fixtures na you run it through maybe ana ma chance for koto game no kakra dia bana brother ko na konra ye mom de ma baso light ni nya so ne top pampamu nko adia na camera de em say media mana na ombelusi no right back on mbo sa no ye nya bu league mu ache
mama se na man for bona baso
no right back I mean watch this go he's a natural right-footed player but left no the ball no na Kamara ya make no wants me catch or ball right back or ball left back
or ball and Africa set pieces and so
or ball 7 and 11 na ohuri kosra one shocking thing about Kamara no only height only high scra but kosro o to connect so pa kon na bia bo bedu so asin so Jonathan so so height Jean Vital Origa Ivory Coast God I know medimatu no yetu wasn't Kamara be brave, but Kamara fastball easily. Kamara is developing as an all-round player. Now, the Yemen imagine said that Chimbiano or Baba Bobe 8 and 6 war. Oh, you know, Baba, it's all right backs for us. Oh, you know, be free to definitely. Now, my team overall, our quality in abundance. Quite unfortunate, they had to train the technical hands now midway through the season. And Coach Tanko Babefai. Coach Tanko for Accra Lions, they had a very different policy. You entertain now external market, having a very good partnership with Frankfurt, and I know about that story now. So Salim Adamni and then Ash Gold striker wa yini JC. Now Salim. The ball type of ball no so when you the ball no to him na different sana type no tie Salim show ni mo a
tintin mai fo ni bia
won ho de ne pa na o say we are story bia no pai say obedru soro the fortune of injuries say jao ade anya ja Salim an de ne ho as a footballer or bano injuries Salim Adam potential striker pa and me de ma fo akofada ba beka or more attackers no so 3-1 against Vision it was a top game but caught the rest of the fixtures mana Shadrack ma men share how we go league no betimi decided this weekend or probably next week. Has for accommodations Accra Lions fasters eto sa game no meba ho be United Lagos cities eni sunsanso e wo league no so aduana brekum Chelsea eni sunsanso e wo top 4 the omumienu be bia no e wo middle table ho no omumienu game no ebo e similar to Bechem and Lagos cities ba ko she ba ko 50,000 nail kra no e middle table ho no omumienu wo Heart of Lions enya league na omobaji ora randia be wa me yahunu say the kind of situation we got last year referee no person GBB ayini ho that commentary ba so no they've really changed coach by Shiro for assistant man eni ya me no kasa Ishmalado under 20 or more for Ghana no almost 6 Heart of Lion for almost 6 no quality player what from the party or more any Samates ne bebo it's just going to be another game but Samates meba ho Young Apostles ne Basake and Gold Stars in Karela ya starting to say Gold Stars be Karela ma me bo ne Teutoni enko am sure mo ba bia league na dru Ghana Premier League na drew no wa that first second third wunimu ho Karela performance overall throughout the entirety of the season being one of the weakest defenses. I mean I've watched Karela 3 back no body nyina still has gotten some cracks defense no Karela are not pushing hard dance pack no Karela be show mo Young Apostles ne Basake make for draw in that game or maybe a win for Young Apostles so double chance for Young Apostles Heart of Lions e be Samates Pando aduana ne Brekum Chelsea that game no betumi apai draw a Brianna Brekum Chelsea. That game no bet me a draw. But Chem Lagos Cities or Mesha Lagos Cities or Nafo Suji Abo. The whole season, only one team in Akofa win or Nafo Suji Abo. That's Go Stars. And of course, or no so Sako the first ever team or the ball back up air to the Chem net or Nafo Suji Abo. And even extended to 2 goals. Now, we know Sinchia. Nations in Accra Lions match na a match papa Nations in Accra Lions. See
Nations in league no so pay.
Ade ba ko na ye me ya na ye me ya se me kana fidie kese so but se me ka e fa Nations team no ho.
Oh, sir.
Nations team no mo bi bi. As some of the G League e man ye apart from character. One how Ghana Premier League na kwa you know. Nations see ka say on the best away performer. Yo, the person
is Wontumi kwa away now you're the best away performer there. You know say dominated by home wins. So we are the best away performer there. Nene asede odi home de na ba be nto so.
Di ni siw kwan.
It's like a simple crowd.
Yo, di ni siw kwan.
Wontumi jititim.
Okwa aduana. Uvelu Bay, they're the best away performer. They've won almost 7 games away this season. 7 league you're about to say away. 17 you're about away out of 34 no. So far na you know, yeah. Or no 7 wins. Oh, the league na you so wouldn't ya. Why would you sit in a brankase? Now yo, Adriana Barbe show a brankase. Why would you sit in a brankase? Na brekum chase Barbe show a brankase. No. It goes way beyond the technical team. It goes way beyond the technical team. And 2 percent league in the 2 league in the first round and a second round. Yo, some percent league in the I'm telling you, league in the do the last 6 games and up kukru where yo ya no ebamuno yo league in your bottle draw now in the first round. If you want to trust me on this, just oppose that against their performances in the second round. Ne hunu baby a omoje league no. Second round no a mop up. What's the sense strategically more pay points be
o say bi mu de na do 1-1 bi
so me shra so ma 780 o say bi mu de that's a 7 person can no nya won ko answer many akomya na ebo ne Saturday ma me warm up use my head and see that's not the only job. The last few games of the second round no ball there no na o more pay up no ni wo bechem no ni wo ha so it drew hot your pressure. You play and pick up majority of your points in the first round. Now coach ni technical team anything na me make say Nations per se or G League na niyama ya for one dia it's a club project and your pressure na that technical team no so nko and administrator ba confer pressure nto so it's a club project fans no mo there technical team administrators players obia one there and sana Nations set me G League no but oba we games no quality boni na home. Yo, sa penalty bi a 7 man kona enya di tiara za sense wo Nations no. Sa penalty no. Ma fa minim sharak benya ma de akamani beje. Abrankese. And that game served as the first loss in about 2 years ever since the Nations joining Ghana Premier League. You want to see the penalty. If you don't want to win the league and concede this penalty at home. You don't go and win in away and home na duana ba you say ofie. You are not a club a person of league no. No, she's a one club me pe masempa. They have to put certain things in place. It's a whole structure. But about sikasam quality. Look at the structures. Blaster correct me rely on their structures. But me see a card be. Now let me go to the game. So coach Abubakar Watara winning game we are. Me kwa cramp bracket no so onko no. There's a certain bracket be. Say coach Watara ko bazia. O say the other day. Watara ko. Yo, I've never been in that bracket. I didn't know results and coaching. Me, I don't stay in that bracket. Odi yi mata na shame as a young coach ni sin chain. But no new coach what has been the guarantee besides that tell me a question but me say this game we moment we akotoko wuram changing the coach in the course of the season na coach will tire what that piece of environment or they call ahead of the game no yo be a game we want win am make kan nya be ma nya be an info make kan bracket na say coach will tire fa djuma no to no but en common ne say coach is it to adwuma or want to say machine game against Adriana machine game low intensity games no boti akones no kotoko ahoden no form kotoko ahoden ni suru bebre sa
betimi dia bossa game
yeah kotoko ahoden ni suru say a game before kick off you can say oh we hwe ya e patim mean to mean kasa asem no bia even though on the table kotoko has folk anim but on the table, on the face of it, me do me no nyina beto pepepe. Game we say no, a strategic kakra nima few little details be and madru hono few details in say Dr. Gum before the exit no in and saying why usually there's a bit of stranglehold my enka sa obi de nsa fa akwanche emia o mene da sa na why kotoko na house book na saying yes anete a bit of stranglehold from Dr. Gum it's given kotoko them already momentum and say Coach Karim Zito or twice the free pepe. It cannot change. It cannot change. Sir, Dr. Ogumwasha has to say, or for so sibe into errors, or for so defenders into Mukwala, say, Kotukwanya, that kind of dominance recently. Now, all of a sudden, a change has to focus at Kotoko 2-0. People will go back and talk about games around Togum every year, the coach Karim Zito. So at this point, yes, I saw boys and a winning game, catch Romo. Number 2. Me mata who say me share during a game no critically say people me akumia ma hakumia ho sa akumia is always trying to convince me say oh and say ma share during a game no esa ko share kotoko any corners game no Coach Karim Zito is thinking and planning something around the 4-4-2 no ne ho and ma has the chance to be in the game no Coach Karim Zito he's planning something around 4-4-2. 2-1 fin. 2-1 chain. No about 2 or top. This formation I'm okay. So he has folk technical member or has folk near pass or winning game now. It should give you confidence. So win him the away. Na problem ni kotoko wingers anyway. Pitami do akwa ni game no. Kotoko wingers anyway. Se kotoko wingers no a me buso masse no. Me who those wingers in dia. Now, Coach Karim Zito planning something around the 4-4-2 ne dia. Yo, before them make us we no. Me catch Coach Karim Zito say 4-4-2 no. I'm planning an alternative system for Hasselhoff. Ewa bra on fa ancient team say the 4-4-2 no. And they call we or they call Kelly Hasselhoff for. This shape no. Ewa a bit of a weakness. Ewa the team no. The method no, the wins no, and the strikers no. Now the wins in the against Adriana who saw the change I'm not a boy. Our corners game no, I will not go more detail into that because game no is very imminent. But yo, the secret code that my coach Karim Zito say look for runners team no. Look for players who make me take players on one-on-one. Players make me make crosses. In the second half against Adriana, I told you you had just 2 crosses from the right wing. From Chejamana, and none of them had a target. So that shape no mahuno, and then I may share who game no dia. I am telling you, coach, look for runners in your team. Look for players that me expand the Has folk team no, because Has a big peja in Finfi they will dominate the midfield because one thing about Coach Abubakar Ouattara they say all starting season no about 4-1-3-2. Now 4-1-1 here Theophilus Collinson on the protective four. Now the function and say usually on Kwenenimu he aligns a lot of the time with the defensive backline. Not trainer what a typical playmakers. It to be a Martin Kakari, it to be a Mohamed Ifonimi Sani and then Hussein. It to be now the other wing and Mauli Wayu Ababesoso. Now about 2 strikers and it could be Asama Boate and then Kwabena Boate. It to be a Newcastle Montaigne, then Kwabena Boate. It to be Hamza Insa and then Asama Boate. He keeps changing, but it has always been 4-1-3-2. playmakers no majumanko and a Tiflos Collison. The baby has for weaknesses and one in Tiana may catch Zito ni say look for runners no has team in the honey now more weaknesses and you move 2 and 3 no yaw move 2 and 3 no and he has for weaknesses me my footwork a crabby and remember has for weakness say kotoko di fifi ho be chewo ne sorry nyame yad mo chna o di fifi ho be chewo but in China who picks that? Where are you dominating? Are you dominating the midfield or you are dominating the wings? So how's full backs here we got to continue and punish more? I'll be so much surprised. I'll be so much surprised. Now got to midfield way so how's for continue and punish more? I'll also be very much surprised. It's either the midfield or the wings. Maybe I'll be for Biano, you can win the game. The best of luck to the two coaches. Okay, may the best team. Fetch me. Penalty now. Shadrach Akofabano. Watch this penalty. Yes. Razak Simpson, any nations they show blue no. Bekum Chelsea they show white no. Now look at Abankona and a Simpson. Simpson a defender no. Defender the top of Abankona na gina ho no. Ye penalty ni tia Abankona. Our nations abranke say.
I think to be fair to whatever that has gone on, this video has been discussed and the direction of the ball ne baby a Razak Simpson in Sane Koye.
Why did they punish this referee if born inside?
Born inside.
So yes,
then it is because I don't see Sadu ya kanwasema I didn't see ya kanwasema and now me first time I'm video we can na me be say they am correct can na
because born inside person born inside cronifa na be
this way in the boy so the direction of the ball.
So why did they punish the referee? Born I want inside fan.
So the direction of the ball, no, the direction of the ball, or slowing down.
Apart from the direction, no, so who said?
I can't say right now, or the
what is the direction of the
ball?
Yeah, what's a boy Simpson Senifa? Take time and watch it.
No, I mean, no, we've had discussions about this, sir.
No, but every video that we can still discuss, but
videos now,
and this was a penalty against nations. So what Branca say?
And the issue is the direction of the ball. The direction of the ball even is clear. Yeah, come on, Sam, sir. We've spoken about it to even an extent. Say,
look at him. Foul Simpson now and foul.
I'm not gonna foul Simpson.
No, maybe Busa say. Watch this.
No, Amankuna did not even touch Simpson. Simpson lost a step.
One touch, no.
No, Amankuna pushing Simpson. So pushing Simpson. Say me piano foul. Just look at this.
Now, Amankuna Simpson.
Amankuna
take time and watch it.
So the push, no.
And you push now.
Oh, come on.
No, I mean, so also on contact first of all. But you also contact
video, yeah.
But you are still watching it here.
We've had discussion about this video.
And this cannot be a foul.
Very poor.
Yeah. And I'm a Shaban Kransa. I'm Kransa and Mediakasa. I've always been saying this. I'm Kransa call Simpson.
Nana Simpson, Koyama Day. Simpson na ordinary ko ya man ko
body balance na
and who's Amankuna if you want to say so no body balance but who use Amankuna
fan say push obi I don't know okay to show that
holding the box person me share there holding the box
I would love to talk about Kotoko and Has
me content na person we know about me say ne sa Amankuna answer. If you are watching the TV, if you are watching this, I was making a contest say, if you want to win the league as a nation, you don't concede such a penalty of fear.
The OD can kind of make sense.
Yes, I want to this is never a penalty in my opinion.
And I'll say after game,
he pushed him. Yeah. Oh, I won't punish the referee now. And I'm all man cancer. And I'm Nasa person because I'm cancer and same sechi. Nensani same sechi.
So one are you pushing?
This is pushing, and they punish the referee for this.
Whoa,
I have a different opinion towards it.
That's it.
Fancy, we can do crucial games never. So now I think say couple bear story be about a house of folk fan be say Wakoke can send group be so near the Fancy on her house of folk game crampo down costed on her body be that. Oh, see what onin crying. Match we cry uncle heavy. So on your part of House of Folk chapter biya House of Folk WhatsApp group
I
don't know what's so only House of Folk chapter biya. So ama mi busa me ho say we are brand here pa na TV ase pa na social media nti otina ho insight nyoma bi ye nyoma bi basasa na onkoto aduamu ana opa na because now no se bibi kitikiti bi kwamputi obi wo stadium ye beka say wow. When I found out that only she in association to any House of Folk official supporters group, and I was like, it didn't pan about trim.
Forget one on the queen. I don't
know. It's a warning because Yamako game Biama Yamifa Polycres ye. And come say ya na kokoko so I fan say normal.
Do not so a beman watches can go with me.
Once your fan say normal. Sounds to buy the munyai. And your fan say normal.
Moon fast can and shan on costed you may.
Uncle.
And to me can't be after me. I'm saying, Carol Sonny and Quay anymore.
Uncle, security.
Yeah,
I tell you to take it up from there.
A great A game, Portnado, so on your beman of Fasakan and Shan. Where Casa baby? Obogo to me mano, two also a beman was so what Fasakan of Quay.
Fancy game we say one goal 7 in the moon.
Wontumi.
Na Besiano pay one goal none that's on the moon.
Hey.
Aye, Besiano pay sign one goal none that's on the moon. Na there was a certain advice bia omudi din ko bi say na osanka kotoko ko mo fasoro ni ade anya say afi David enkosi hwe mo mo afọ mo tu anopa ya mo ko mo akopie mo nkran. And fancy they will get there safely. But Koroko strongly believes say baby omo find your self na nkasa no the bibia crampoto ncha they should be able to beat this House of Folk team. And I agree with the new thing kind say House of Folk defense we pa na omo lateral so Kotoko pentimi utilizing your mabia. Ye fa bibia anto ncha nye hwe squad na kutongo mienu ne results no mienu ni nya no. And the quality of both sides. And look how Kotoko nsa fa so ada House so for some time now. Game no see en fa form but form so today say the last 4 games na maboni na no Kotoko na so. And before set games be an ye be mo Kotoko form. First leg na san o mo kwa koshi House of Folk na Kotoko form let say. No ma say Aduana going to the House of Folk game na meboa. This time I want say Aduana going into the House of Folk game. Right? Democracy Cup na ye boy no mo say House of Folk no. Sa season ye wi House of Folk finish say na Kotoko finish say. See the bibia go akoma Kotoko etoso say in the league currently ameni wudi nkomo Kotoko so third and afọ kwa points gap between Kotoko and the other first. Has to say it every single skirmishes around this game, every single be a target game will be an so what they are known kwakoto nche here player for player, squad for squad, resource for resource. I don't think House of Folk above Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Fancy and ese Kotoko eka so the abet amwane kwame poku na eton game na House of Folk the one eton game no. Strikers do say na must goals do this season. You see, we Benjamin Asare. Wako uremu a no Obama Black Stars na osi akane man na. Fancy. Obeti ase wu say ball na ye ko bona nkasa no. Aside skirmishes, aside obia belief, aside nyomba no me bie so de kire wo ni nyina na won chen no. Koroko no stand to but the ma asem ni ehunye.
Anka bibia mu de ene de akoko koso nyina no. Anka Asante Kotoko stand tall.
Stand tall. Name go away na standing tall asem. Because House of Folk for any abre.
Say na Kotoko san na say enum straight. There's all the about democracy cup on the kan ho a.
Enum
aye 4 for now.
4 for now.
It's league ni de Kotoko bo has 2 seasons twice in a row.
2 seasons in here.
One ebo akroma na kokwa na.
What do hwe kumako?
Wa bo na nkasa. Na de ma asem ne she House of Folk for no cry last time de na esi ye no. fancy na ye bo game bi say ya bo wi ni ehu say me na me ne mic ni gina on mic be di ma dance okra tuntum pa sheboto mamia okra ne da ka ne chibe tuntum pa mia ye bo game ni nyina no bi aba osekoroko be se one game musu ya bo adu 90 minutes me ne mic he boy use o green stars koroko be se one na me ne mic cry ka so yi si for makobo no referee cry de at that time atoso nya afi ne e betwen afi ye si for my ti go mistake aba o se bo nsu ne Benjamin Asare o se sibe ene Benjamin Asare bo akofo mu ntema
ma so de miam ni pa o so odi Jason Ibrahim no okay to JB ko na o se me hano
mukwala de na
dabi abetamu ade
na no ya ade na no ya first leg Kumasi
ye bossi o mu mi
na Kumasi
ye bossi o mu mi enu ntem no fancy game we e hook
asa no kwa na house home dabi de korokobon na
akoroko abo house e wa say home away from home haba last season mukwala de na ha ai what ma say mukwala de na ha ene house of folk and form bus na nkasa nwuremu into the stadium anyame adom o kene ma ne nyon
ara say
oh said you want to
change your man hey god abo man e do o ya okay first na house for no bo mutimi te aba mi show man no korofo no mo yam do mo bram
ba be say ba ku bi bae la sa kwa kire la e frɛ e bo abale le de e pelifo le tra se ala wo se da bi akwa kire we de because da kwanche da ke
beti ya ba say nyame adom wo chena ha se mfa ne ba
se ni mewrem e beti ba sa o se do come
on the drone
o da bi se do afobia be
be ka for se ne mfa kwa over of bus stadium ka so mfa ka ka so mfa ka
so gba ba okotoko game bi bus ni Wrexham stadium ba na players na ntisa bus ni
ba we dey bus players be ba mfa bus
what you say bus no e be Wrexham stadium ho na players no enti basi
but we dey on ba na basi ni mba bi
me say na anu ada ne de si ye no ana me refer wo de tosu mienu
nzo to time
fancy
every minute
de tosu mienu the white handkerchief nipo obedi kesi free bus ni mo be pro na e kale ba man kwa adwuma against Kotoko ene kale bi ni ho it was the area the last few matches no mo bani nya no besi form no almost sani pakro it was obi o free kromwa ena esi free bus ni obi o free kromwa o make us o free Kumasi ni
esi free house
bus no
on first person
no pro hank ni mu a second side
2 goals
me ba me si go no 1 goal no komo na me didi no
you be say I don't come me for the currency
go say madu team na defense credit no
don't come me for the currency the course me John Saba
but the net to so me no fancy eno na korokofo no
say obi free Kumasi but all has team ni no the can see free bus
no hanky was any o my koso
okay nti ebe mu ne chena
Kumasi national
ebe mu ntwama
ana you see the third one no on e nkomo e course by koroko sisa anyoma no like saa de ne de they don't obi tu kotoko fo say koroko komo fa flight in fan kwa Accra omo fa car ento kaso na nkomo weke na mo fa flight in kwa Accra na dana koroko ball aduana no say house to fo ka mo game
omo rest enough
and apart from rest no we na period no they also mo ye bia no mo ye de ombe
sa
ana koroko se da bi itu tie nkomo na enu akra no zube kasa no tie nkomo na wutwa na yese
mo be for be a flight crowd $1,000 ni ade no
afro be bia nkomo na nambo boba no
ko na fu kuma se kwa akra no fu bia cho say me flight for cross say yo
so na le ta ko ba
7
ai
18.7 mo me enu nyina
ai
one ba no ko sa twen do aba alu pre no pako circle na over us out for the 1,000 that's how in and out bra
but fancy
we got to go new 1,000 that's how
they me flight for cross say
101.3
I mean so fashion
by koroko will be entering this game with full confidence.
First, almost several a more crazy.
45 minutes.
No, my brother, you can crazy. It's a brother, we are not using the amount. No, my catch us out emergency. What emergency?
Aside every other thing, this is what sometimes makes Koroko. I know to the beer, baby boom. Me, I believe in things. But these are some of the side things. I know it's a baby, but these are the side things that sometimes you would need to experience when it comes to Kotokone has game. Now, what story be the Achibia? What me be a Kabili for? So I will urge every single fan or supporter to get to the stadium, watch this game because baby a Kotoko League, no fancy. Kotoko League no dependent on house of full game. Makasa se mo ya chero. Said the 18 games na Kotoko bono. Omo make sure some be na. So mo sheni na house of full game ni deal breaker. Fancy. So mo se Kotoko lusu game no china. Kotoko should forget about the league. But mo se Kotoko ase game ni china. Baby any go stars and for money to hwe machine.
Oh, Mate, me da say. Eh, ma na Dr. Amusu enim komo. Motama. Opa tue. WWE one of the winner 10 minutes. 7,000. What's the idea, bro? I feel na kusiabra. Wo ene Dr. Amusu enim komo na yentu aso real quick. Of course